Assemble the accused! Bear witness to their trials! The time of the Inquisition is now at hand. Putting pop culture to the rack, the Inquisition calls to account the events of the week, rooting out heresy wherever it is found. I am Grand Inquisitor Doomcock, the future ruler of Earth, and joining me for tonight's torture is Nerdrotic Channel's Grand Inquisitor, Gary Beekler. Gary, what's up, Doc?
Oh, what's up, Doc? What's going on, man? Well, here we are after the fall of Skywalker. The fallout is still stuck on the bottom of our shoes, and we have to scrape it off on the curb and on the grass. And it's the fallout between fans, access media. It's weird being in the same camp as some of the critics out there. But they're for entirely different reasons, which we can talk about, which actually exposes them for being the shills that they are.
Right.
And then I figure we should start talking about what's to come, what we have coming up in a couple of days. We have Doctor Who coming out, and then in 3 weeks, we have Star Trek Picard. And both you and I know some stuff about that. We could talk about some, we can't talk about other stuff. But yeah. And just Jar Jar Abrams spinning away. Oh, and the Fandom Menace getting name dropped by the BBC. That one's fun.
Oh, we did by the BBC?
By the BBC, yes.
Wow.
That was kind of a big deal. So yeah, it's been an interesting week. I'm sure. How was your Christmas, man?
It was pretty good. I mean, I've just kind of done what I can and taken it easy, and watched my 5,000 subs go away, and then today they added some back, so now I'm only down about 1,700, I think.
Yeah, you had 5,000
over 5,000.
Yeah.
Yes. Complete disparity between the public count and my channel dashboard, and of course, as I would gain subs, it would go up on the channel dashboard, but there was a over 5,000 disparity. Now I'm at like 131 something, and I'm at 133 something publicly. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, the public count didn't go away, so I guess people were questioning, but I mean, I've got screenshots and you got screenshots, so it looks like it might have been a bug, but just I did get multiple emails. I've gotten some Twitter DMs. People have been unsubscribed from your channel, from my channel, so if you've come across this video, please make sure you are still subscribed. I am still down about 1,000. They gave back I had 2,500 taken, so they give back 1,500. They might give it happens at night, so they might give them back, but just check and make sure with all of your favorite YouTubers. I don't know if this happened to everybody. I don't know what the hell it was, but it happened, and it sucks, especially when I was like this close to 200,000. But so it looks like I'm not going to hit it this year, which is fine. But let's see who we have here. We've got Nicholas Horton, Lady Mist, Reality 101, the official Dougie J, my old friend, Moons of Madness, Chris Corkum, Jeremy Coleman, RR, Random Brad Creates, Zippo Fanatic 77, Lawrence Smith, Waffle the Wookie, Victor Bangle, Sheila Allen. What's up, Sheila? The Benzu, Juan Soros, Type O Negative, Miss Sad Song, Corey Cipiella, the Holographic Sweater, Project Redfoot, Lokita Wild, and Max Mercer, and everybody else. Welcome. We have right now we got over 1,100 people here. Doomcock,
outstanding. Very good. Hello and welcome.
Yes, thanks for being here. It was kind of hard for me to get back into the groove of ripping on Star Wars and getting back into the culture war after I had a pleasant couple of days without it.
Yes.
And if it wasn't for that stupid bug or purge, whatever they were doing, I wouldn't even have looked at my YouTube or thought about it. But it happened on Christmas Day. And I'm like, I'm at a Christmas party. And I just, once in a while, I look at the analytics and I popped up my phone. I'm like, wait, what? And I thought, I got a new phone. Something was wrong. Nope. I double checked it. And you know what? It kind of screwed my Christmas a little bit.
Yeah.
Not much, but a little bit. And that sucked. But otherwise, my feelings haven't changed since the fall of Skywalker. I watched it twice, and it got worse the second time around. It makes less sense the second time around. But it really sucks that this crappy movie came in and trounced all over one of our favorite shows, and now it's completely forgotten. The Expanse. that's
yeah. Well, that is the only thing that is not Star Wars' fault or Lucasfilm's fault or Disney's fault. That's Amazon's fault or whoever the programmer is. Because I mean, how could they not see that the Expanse would be out of the conversation just like that? Boom. And it just, whereas, you know what, if that wasn't the case, we would be looking forward to this right now. We would be looking forward to the next Expanse and thereafter, the week after, and the week after, and the week after, and we would be absolutely killing it.
Yeah, I hope they've learned their lesson. And you were right, man. It was forgotten before we even got to January. So that sucks. And listen, The Witcher is out there, and it's still getting talked about. Actually, I have 2 videos coming out in The Witcher. But yeah, it sucks. And Baby Yoda was around every week. And listen, I like The Mandalorian overall as a non-Star Wars fan. I thought objectively it was okay. It's not reinventing anything as far as storytelling is concerned at all. But it wasn't bad. It didn't have a bunch of identity politics in it, and at least the stories made sense. And listen, that was Disney bringing things really keeping it simple, which maybe is what they need to do. But that coming out weekly certainly helped that show a lot. Even though not much happened. Again, it was good, but we're not discussing anything within the plot other than Baby Yoda's pretty cute. That's about it. And I don't know what purpose.
That's it.
Yeah. And hopefully Baby Yoda being cute can carry a series. I just don't see it. The cuteness will wear off, I think, but we'll see. We'll see.
Well, one would hope that kind of simple-minded, thing wouldn't be enough to sustain it over years, but who knows? I don't know. I don't know how cute Baby Yoda is. I've only watched the pilot, so I can't really comment on it.
It's pretty cute. It's practical effect. If it was CG, I'd hate it, but at least it's at least it looks like a puppet. I don't know. It might be CG. What the hell? I don't know. I don't know anything, but Rise of Skywalker. I don't know if you're going to be coming out with any more videos. I know we've heard. I'll probably cover the news bits about it. I just think the plot is kind of said and done. I think what it did, and I stated this in my review, was it just made permanent all the damage. All the damage that was from The Last Jedi was made permanent in the fall of Skywalker, even with those supposed, middle fingers to Rian Johnson. I feel the damage is done, and I don't know what there is to debate other than this thing is really dead. I know there's people who I don't care. Listen, it can make all the money it wants. But Jeremy brought this up, and I wanted to ask you, people are spinning the current box office right now, and it did well because it basically got 3 weekends within 2 weeks, and that's fine. It's going to make money, and it's tracking behind The Last Jedi. I don't care if it makes more money than The Last Jedi, less money. This movie should have made $2 billion. This is your supposed end of the Skywalker saga. This is it. And it's not going to make $2 billion. And it's for a forgettable film. It's a narrative mess. And do you recall what Luke Skywalker's last words were in the Skywalker saga? The last words spoken. You have everything you need. When he's talking to Rey, he tells Rey she has everything she needs. That's the last thing Luke Skywalker says.
That's when he's a ghost.
Yeah.
And she's lying, and they just have a shot of the stars or some shit like that.
And the rest of the time he just nods at her as a ghost.
Right.
He doesn't say anything.
Right.
That's how far we've fallen. And now we have people, running out there and telling the fandom menace is done. And like, if you want to feel that way, that's fine. I don't care. But just now that we're a week out, has your opinion changed? Do you feel like this is something that'll be as debated as much as The Last Jedi, or is this just this thing is done?
I think people will continue to hate it. But I think, back on Last Jedi, the pain was fresh and palpable, and there was some hope of, a course correction or something. Now it's just, it's just a dead, sodomized corpse lying in the road, and it stinks. I mean, literally, to get close enough to it to do an autopsy, it just stinks. So I don't really know if it will sustain in terms of critiquing or criticizing or not. I think people are just fed up with it. And I don't think it's going to do as well as The Last Jedi. I mean, it had like a 71% drop, this last Friday, which is, fairly severe. I mean, it's not panic time yet, but given also that China has completely dismissed it and is not having any of it, I don't know. I think the picture is a little bit grim on the thing.
Yeah, I mean that a lot of movies rely on China for that little bump later on once the first 2 weeks in the States have played out. And like, I don't know how it's going to perform on New Year's. That's pretty much its last shot. And then it's going to start losing. And usually, I mean, even good movies go down 30 to 50% of late. Even with good movies, it's been 60 to 70%. And we'll see how this thing performs through January. And then we'll know. But I already know this should have been a massive, massive hit. And what it was typical J.J. Abrams trickery, deception. And a lot of people fall for it. Normies fall for that stuff. Critical thinking is not really applied here when it comes to Jar Jar Abrams stuff. As far as, just if anything slows down for a minute, you have to ask a question. How did they do that? How did they get that there? Did they build the Star Destroyers underwater? Why did they put them underwater? There's
just so Jar Jar Abrams could lift them out because he has a fetish for putting spaceships underwater. Just the same thing with the Enterprise. I'd feel embarrassed if I was, I would be so embarrassed that like I do this all the time now. And it's just so cheesy. It's just so by the rote. It's garbage.
Yeah. Wouldn't you construct those things in space?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I wouldn't leave them underwater to rust. And I wouldn't, how would you staff them? And how would you maintain them? And why the fuck are you waiting for 30 years? Why don't you attack as soon as you've got them? And how about like, they don't see it coming? Wouldn't that be kind of valuable?
Yeah. Why announce it? Here I come. I've been waiting 30 years to surprise you, but you've got 16 hours to prepare.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great.
Genius.
Southeastern kaiju says space radar can't penetrate space eyes. Duh.
Of course.
Yeah, well,
of course.
There you go. That makes the perfect sense.
But the Resistance with their space horses shot out the GPS that they could have just fitted on each individual Star Destroyer, but because they managed to put the death penises on, but they didn't.
The useless death penises. Yes. And the useless Death Star cannons that never got close enough to a planet to take anything out, except in that one shot that is disconnected from anything. It's just to show people that it's there, but that's it. It has no tactical value. It has no application. It's just complete. All the money it would have taken to build all those cannons alone is just, obviously he's telecommuting. He's got some kind of Amway or home, maybe Mary Kay, maybe Mary Kay.
Little Mary Kay shuttles going around, pink shuttles flying around.
Sure. Sure. Well,
Yeah.
sometimes pink looks red on film. So I mean, Kylo's, it might have been this TIE fighter is sponsored by Mary Kay.
Maybe crowdfunded.
Yeah.
Help support the final order. I know my second to last order didn't work out, but this one's it's really gonna work.
Oh yeah.
And then the whole this is so Jar Jar, he sets out to do this stuff. This is part of his mystery box speech. He sets up mysteries he never plans on answering. So people will talk about him. And this works for TV, but it doesn't work for a film like Star Wars. And enough people have seen through it now. As far as like the Rotten Tomatoes audience score, I don't know. I've heard that there might be some fudging going on there, but I don't know if there's any proof or anything. I think it's a good possibility that many normies like the movie. I just do. But a lot of normies liked Terminator Dark Fate, the ones that went and saw it. Which wasn't many.
It's not going to hold at 83 or 86%, whatever the ridiculous number is. I mean, it's going to fluctuate some. And the fact that it's just so phony. I mean, even the damn, critic score fluctuates. I mean, come on.
No,
Rotten Tomatoes is a joke. It's just a joke.
The same thing happened with Doctor Who. I did my last Doctor Who Rotten Tomatoes video about a little over a year ago. And I said, okay, I'll do another one when it hits 20%. So the votes had gone up by the thousands and it just stuck at 21%. It never hit 20%, even though there's negative vote after negative vote after negative vote. That percentage just didn't change. That's impossible. That's impossible. So yeah, it's the only thing Rotten Tomatoes is good for is exposing like critics for being complete hacks and frauds. Like the one who got busted, I mean, not even busted. She didn't even care. She admitted to watching one episode of The Witcher and giving it a bad review for the entire season, which is fucked up, by the way, completely fucked up. And I will be talking about that because I found the other things she reviewed. So I'm going to be talking about that. But yeah, as far as the Rise of Skywalker is concerned, it can do well. I don't care. I don't give a shit. It doesn't make this a good film. And I think it's just the factor of like, if you want to like something, you're going to like it. Nobody's going to talk you out of it. But if you just want to like something for those words, Star Wars, or even worse yet, you want to like it because you don't like us. Therapy. I mean, that's all I can suggest is some therapy. That's all you can do. But it's weird being on the side. What I wanted to bring up is the critics. So a lot of the critics don't like this movie because of the departure from The Last Jedi. But we're not in the same camp as they are. We're not with them on this other than just not liking the film. But I think it exposes the critics, Doomcock, even worse because it shows that they were just backing The Last Jedi for political reasons or whatever. I mean, how could you like that film? How could you be a Star Wars fan and not like Luke Skywalker?
Yeah, you can't. You can't, but you can't be a critic and not give a damn about Star Wars and just pay lip service to it. Probably a lot of critics have contempt for Star Wars or franchises like this. They look at it as beneath them or it's not serious cinema or whatever. I don't know. But the whole point is that they are so fake that they just were trying to climb on a bandwagon of wokeness to get, virtue signaling out of the way. And so they virtue signaled their asses off and carried that woke water for the mainstream media and and for the studios. And then of course now that kind of they got thrown under the bus along with The Last Jedi. JJ Abrams admitting that these movies were not so great. What he said about The Force Awakens, that if you like The Force Awakens, you should have your head examined.
Yep.
Just straight up, and laughed.
Laughed when he said it.
Yeah.
And he also, that swipe he made at The Last Jedi, I'm paraphrasing what he said in the New York Times, but you don't go to see Star Wars to watch things die. Basically, Star Wars is not there to subvert expectations, essentially, is what he was saying, which was a complete back. And listen, the whole time he was out there going, Rian Johnson didn't derail my story. When you hear somebody say that, especially unsolicited, that is Hollywood speak for this mofo derailed my story. Well, not that he had one, because he didn't have one.
Right.
This is Jar Jar's fault for giving Rian Johnson a blank canvas. It's his own goddamn fault. So yeah, there was nothing here. There was no plan. It's an embarrassment that listen, they're coming. The excuses they're using now, Doomcock, is you just can't please everyone. Throwing their hands up there. You just, I'll give you I gave it in my video, just in case you didn't watch it. I'll give it again here. Here's a way to please a Star Wars fan, and tell me if I'm wrong. A Luke Skywalker peak Jedi, like bringing down a Star Destroyer with the Force, or having just a balls out battle with the Dark Lord of the Sith. Does that sound shitty? Does that sound terrible?
No, that sounds great. Sounds exactly what we wanted to see.
Yeah, like Game of Thrones. We didn't want to see the Night King taking on a dire wolf. I mean, that would have totally sucked. I mean, like a daylight battle between dragons, dire wolves, and zombies. People expected that. We don't want to do that.
Right. Why bother? Since everyone had already been wanting to see that, we'll frustrate that and give them something different.
Yeah. And Star Wars is about it is about fan service. It is about pleasing your fans. It's about being inspiring and being fun. And that's the one thing I'll give The Mandalorian. They tried to bring that back into Star Wars. It's way too late in a side quest that's now meaningless because your main story sucks. And I don't know where they go from here, Doomcock. I'm not interested at all. I mean, they can go into the Knights of the Old Republic, but what they're essentially doing is starting a franchise from scratch now.
Yeah, and they've obviously they haven't demonstrated that they can make a decent Star Wars movie. Honestly, I don't think they have any idea. What they've amply demonstrated is that they can make Disney movies and they can make young adult romance. And, they can peddle their propaganda in their films, but they can't actually tell a compelling story. They don't seem to have any nuance or any indication that they understand what makes a narrative work. I mean, look at Rogue One. That was the best of the Disney Star Wars movies. No doubt about it. I mean, it was the only one that was even remotely acceptable. And hell, they had to, grab the director and boot him off and bring in another director and have all sorts of patchworks and jump through hoops to try and reshoot everything. And so you've got a kind of an uneven movie that largely succeeds. But that's it. From that point on, there was no turning back. The Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Solo, for God's sakes, and now Russo Skywalker, just terrible, just garbage. I mean, objectively speaking, if it was not Star Wars, I don't know that this shit would have an audience. I really don't.
It wouldn't. That's the strength of this brand, and it's almost indescribable. I don't understand why. Listen, the prequels captured a part of a generation. I can't talk. I don't think it captured an entire generation, but I think there was a lot of kids who watched it and grew up on that, and they had parents who were Star Wars fans, and that brought that on. I don't see that happening with this trilogy. I think there's a lot of adults who are into this. But it's the corner that Disney has painted themselves in. Is Star Wars could grow and evolve and be something very interesting if they were willing to go PG-13, a little more sophisticated, a little more adult with it. But they are really trapped in keeping this super duper family friendly, which you can still do, but they want to keep it firmly in Disney territory. And I just don't think you can tell a compelling story with the talent that they have. Maybe if they find somebody else, but that's where this whole culmination of things that's gone on with Star Wars and comic books. You brought up the young adult stuff, so they have been trying to fuse the young adult stuff in with basically boys stuff for a few years now, and it's just not working. It's just not working.
No, hell no. What boy wants that shit? Honestly, it's just not interesting, and they've lost a whole generation. I mean, you know, I hear it all the time, you know, testimony from people who teach in schools, from parents, that Star Wars is just not really in the conversation for kids these days anymore. It's really not. And I mean, this is the end of the saga, for God's sakes, and there's empty seats. There's no doubt about it. There's empty seats. If you want to go see this piece of garbage, you can go see this piece of garbage. It used to be that, you know, you had to wait in lines. You had to wait around the block. You'd have to wait for days to get in to a screening of something like Star Wars. It was a blockbuster. This garbage is like a traveling salesman, like a con man that has to blow into town and sell everybody, you know, boys bands, you know, until they all start talking to each other and say, I thought I bought the boys band. No, I bought the boys band. And then he blows town. You know, that's what they try to do, is they try to open as big as they can, you know, con enough people into going for curiosity's sake, and then get the hell out before, you know, the word of mouth spreads. Well, this is garbage. I just wish that people weren't so simple and so easily swayed to do this garbage, you know, easily swayed to get in there and spend their money just to be part of some kind of conversation or something, you know, even if they know it's going to be bad, to go see how bad it's going to be. It's sad. It's really fighting against your own self-interest when you're trying to go ahead and just be a part of everything so that you don't be left out, you know? I mean, but then what you're doing is you're perpetuating and providing a market for mediocrity or even straight outright garbage like Rise of Skywalker. And garbage it is. It is not a coherent storyline. It is not a storyline where any characters do anything of interest. They barely even act human. The damn thing is ridiculous on the face of it. And when you examine it, and even unexamined, even just, you know, you don't even have to think hard about it to see how ridiculous it is. And why is this? And why is this? I mean, it's stupid. It's not entertaining. It's boring. I don't know what in God's name is running through people's minds that like this thing. I really don't.
It's rooting for a team. It's hypnosis. What's left of it, and I'm right there with you. It's just, it makes you shake your head. And this is where I was with The Force Awakens. When I walked out of The Force Awakens, I've told this story before. I thought I'd lost it, like taste wise and stuff, because everybody around me was liking this movie. I'm like, I thought it sucked. That was terrible. And you know, and then I found Jeff from the World Class Bullshitters, and I found other people who started thinking that. And I even went back and watched it again. I'm like, maybe I missed something. Maybe I've just, again, I've lost it. I've always thought I had semi-decent taste. I'm not saying it's the greatest in the world, but and it made me question myself. But thankfully, I found the Fandom Menace. And you're right, Doomcock. Like, we're being spun that this is like a successful movie. This is the next show. San Francisco is the 8th largest media market in the country. The San Francisco Bay Area has almost 10 million people in it. It's a big place. It's a popular place. This is a theater within the city of San Francisco. This is the next show. There are no tickets sold.
Wow.
None.
Wow. Holy
zero.
Shit.
Nada.
Man. In a major market like that, around New Year's is coming. So, I mean, people are going to, you know, I mean, take off. I mean, people do take off, you know, the Monday and Tuesday. And, you know, I mean, if a lot of people are still off, I mean, are off the whole week from Christmas to New Year's. And there's not one soul that wants to see this garbage. Well, there's some good things to be said about San Francisco after all.
I guess.
I mean, come on. I admire that.
Yeah, later on I'll go check the other theaters and stuff, but that's the one that's closest to me. That's the one I went to that had on opening day. I went on opening day, first show. Half the audience clapped, the other half couldn't get out there fast enough. It was at 75% capacity. They might do that on purpose. I don't know, but not every seat. There was 25% of the seats were empty in my theater, around the edges and stuff. Yeah. So I do I think there's skullduggery going on with this film, as I do with every film. I think even the ones we like, they do this stuff too.
Well, Captain Marvel. I mean,
oh God,
look,
yeah.
come on. I don't buy that it did all this money when, after screening after screening after screening and seating charts like you've got show how many empty seats there are. I mean, I just think that that's very fishy.
Extremely fishy. And listen, to back up everybody's claim on that, like I don't have facts, but I have common sense. I just don't think it was that popular of a movie. And lo and behold, has there been a sequel announced to this film yet?
Well, I thought Iger said that no more Star Wars movies for a while.
No, I meant for Captain Marvel. Sorry.
Captain Marvel. No. Oddly enough, when they laid out the whole MCU schedule from, like 6 months ago or a year ago to 2022, Captain Marvel 2 was not on the books. So I thought Captain Marvel was, their flagship character, the mostest importantest ever in phase 4, but they can't even be bothered to make a Captain Marvel 2 movie in the next 3 years, which is absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. And, remember, Gary, when I came out with the report from my source that said that Captain Marvel was going to be teamed up with Spider-Man because they thought that she was a tad unlikable and not really accessible. And so teaming Spider-Man, who was well liked with her, might boost her audience. You remember that?
Yep.
And then they said I was a liar, and they said I didn't have a source. And then lo and behold, one of the very shill sites that said I was lying said, looks like Spider-Man's teaming up with Captain Marvel against the Sinister Six. And it's like, how about that? How about that? But I tell you what, they would be doing Captain Marvel 2 and not a team up with Spider-Man if indeed Captain Marvel was the blockbuster that they claimed.
Exactly. No, that's what I said when they're going to have to pack her film full of Avengers or Spider-Man, and Spider-Man's going to be her little freaking sidekick. God damn, that'll probably make me the most angry I've ever been in.
Well, of course, because I said in that report, dude, I said, well, you don't think he's going to be leading her.
God, no.
Mansplaining a white male. No. He's there for her to shit on and mock and berate and be better than. And then eventually at the end, give him a little grudging, pat on the head or something like that. But it's not going to be an equal partnership. Essentially, it's going to be denigrating Spider-Man and elevating her, and then using some of his wisecracks to con people into thinking that they're having a good time at the movie.
Yep.
That's basically it.
And I don't know if you saw the last Spider-Man, but it's completely forgettable. It wasn't that great. I know some people really like the Marvel Spider-Man. I'm not a fan at all. But I mean, it's not as offensively bad as the Fall of Skywalker. So I just showed you another theater. That's a 9:10 show. Now there is the theater that is closest, the second closest to me. There's a show in about 10 minutes that the theater is half full. Still not really that impressive here. That's a 7:00. Where'd it go now? That's half full. I just lost it. I'm not going to pull it up. Take my word for it. It's half full. And that's a show that's starting in 5 minutes. And again, that's in the most popular theater in this area. Like the theater that everybody goes to, the giant megaplex. It's the Daly City one that that I go to. So yeah, people aren't. Yeah, we'll see. Empty theaters. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's having the greatest weekend, but we'll see. We're going to get reports from Disney, from all these corporations that have vested interest. And people ask, what vested interest does Rotten Tomatoes have? Ad sales. They sell, they want advertising from Disney and stuff. So it's all compromised. It's all compromised.
Oh yeah, and I don't believe all the grosses about Captain Marvel. And there was all these reports of blocks of seats that were consistently empty in every screening. And I mean, you heard those reports.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of those? I mean, we cannot trust Disney to accurately post what the success of their movies are financially. We just can't.
No, you can't trust the access media.
No,
and you can't trust Disney. You can't trust the BBC. You can't trust the ratings tabulation that they have there, because there is some connection between the BBC and that ratings tabulator. And there's so much cross pollination with partnerships that the Disney Plus subscriber count. Well, that was obviously mixed in with the free accounts they gave away with Verizon. And did they just count? Did they sell Verizon a certain amount? And did they just count that number, whether people signed up or not? We don't know.
No, we don't. But I have one person who wrote me, who works at Walmart, and said that two of their coworkers had gotten free tickets to go see Rise of Skywalker from the company. And so that raised the question, well, with all the Walmarts across the country, how many of them got a few tickets to give away to their workers? How many were given away but racked up, to keep head counts in the theater?
They do that all the time. Overshipped comic books. Okay, this is Marvel Comics does this, who's owned by Disney. They overship comic books to comic shops, and they count those as sales. And if you do it to enough comic shops and you overship 20 here, 100 there, I've had overships of up to 50 comic books with big event books and stuff like that. Those get counted as sales, as sold to the store, because they don't have any actual numbers of how many comics are sold to actual people. I mean, the individual shops do, but they don't share that information.
Right.
But I can tell you, it's general as a rule, 30% of your stuff averaged out across every title doesn't get sold. So it's probably like 70%. Yeah, it's
interesting.
Yeah. So if they let's just say if there's skullduggery in one area, there will be in another. I still think there's a large number of people who probably enjoy this film, and it worries me deeply. It does. I don't want to insult anybody, but it's how did Red Letter Media pull it? I don't want to say you have a low IQ if you like this movie, but I'm going to say you have a low IQ if you like this movie. And you have to be willing to completely turn your brain off, or you just really desperately want to enjoy Star Wars. Well, if you want that, then there's the Mandalorians right there for you. At least that's like good compared to the other thing. The Mandalorian is Shakespeare compared to Rise of Skywalker. So
oh yeah, well that's true, but you have actual people who love Star Wars working on it.
Yeah, and boy, does that show. It definitely shows that Disney has, I think they're going to, from here on going forward, they're going to hire based on merit. And I think that will be a big change. I think you will see a big change. And you know what? There are women out there who can direct some damn good Star Wars. Deborah Chow is very good at The Mandalorian. And there are, it's just Hollywood. They've been giving us lip service. Listen, we talked about this a lot with the Wokeman, which was probably my most miserable experience in 2019. I gotta put it right up there with Star Trek Discovery and It was horrible. Now, I mean, what damage Star Trek Discovery does to Star Trek hurts worse than what they did to Watchmen, because I still see Watchmen as a singular thing.
Oh yeah, they were so far off that I don't think of them impacting Watchmen at all. I mean, I think of that thing as a sad, pale joke. It doesn't mean a damn thing, Gary. I don't. I mean, it was painful to watch the damn thing, but I don't believe in it. I don't put any credence in it, and absolutely nothing about it. They revealed themselves to be nothing more than hacks and vandals and cheap, basically cheap traveling salesmen. They blew into town with this, defective product they called Watchmen, and then they blow out the door. And I didn't buy their damn shit, and I'm not going to, and I don't think of them at all, man.
No, just like Doomsday Clock and all the before Watchmen, that stuff, I don't count it. It doesn't affect. And as much as I'd like to feel that way about Star Trek Discovery, it does. It bugs me. I don't consider it canon, but unfortunately, CBS owns Star Trek and Viacom, and they call the shots right now with it. Legend Finder for $9.99 says, The Force Awakens deceived me into liking it for a short time. The Last Jedi made me angry. The Rise of Skywalker made me laugh out loud because it was so bad. It's the worst trilogy of trilogies. It really is. Is there a trilogy worse than this one, Doomcock?
No. I mean, I'm thinking about things like Twilight, which, but I mean, it's hard. I mean, surely Twilight is as cringe as this, but it's not as significant. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't have the harmonic resonance of suck that, Rise of Skywalker and Last Jedi and Force Awakens have. It's like taken together, those things are destroying so much more than the sum of their parts. Whereas Twilight is just, dumb shit. You go in knowing that it's dumb shit, unless you're a young girl who's going to be on Team Jacob and Team Arnold or whoever. I don't know who
What was his name again?
What was his name? Succula.
Oh God, Team Jacob.
Dracula.
Edward? Was it Edward?
Yeah, it was Edward, I guess. Yeah.
Cedric Diggory. Team Cedric Diggory. Maybe it was Cedric Diggory.
Just
Harry Potter.
And you go in there and you know what you're gonna get. So or like didn't they actually make 3 of the 50 Shades of Grey movies? Did they sneak in the other 2 like nobody paid attention or something?
Maybe. I know they definitely made a second one for sure.
Yeah.
But those are true. I get what you're saying. Those are things that are true to themselves, and
they suck for sure. But they don't have the same resonance of pain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. No, this is damaging. And like, I'm not here to debate, because I'm sure there'll be somebody in the chat like, why do you care? Like, I'm not even here to debate that. I care because I care. I like this stuff, and I like talking about it, and it sucks. And this helps me deal with what's been going on. And it goes far beyond Star Wars. Star Wars is a dead brand to me. I mean, I'm not going to be buying any Star Wars toys, Legos, action figures. I unsubscribed to Disney Plus today. I'm not giving them any money. I don't have to for this channel. I am done with Disney Star Wars, and I have been for months now. I'm just chronicling its demise because they didn't earn my money. They have to, it's not hard to get me to stay a fan. Just like try to do as well as you can. I don't expect greatness all the time. It'd be nice to have, but I don't expect it. But when you start disrespecting fans, it's like, I'm done with you. And it's damaging to fandom. It's damaging to comic shops. It's damaging to cons, everything, this ripple effect. And the constant blaming of the fans when it's the fucking corporations that have done this. They're the ones who have come in with their divisive politics and their divisive ways and their people emboldening. not reeling in their employees when they're out there on the attack with fans. People get really, really pissed off about that, and they have every right to be. So if you don't want to buy into the Mandalorian because you're just done with Star Wars, boo, yes, I get it. But you really shouldn't judge anybody because I hear a lot. Well, the Mandalorian's good. Isn't this what you wanted? No, what I wanted was a good Luke Skywalker story. The Mandalorian is now a meaningless story. It's good, but it's meaningless.
Oh yeah. Well, I didn't seem like it was heading anywhere in particular to me. I mean, in the pilot, I just saw this is just going to be, a collection of little action set pieces and, that are not particularly thrilling. I'm never going to be scared that the Mandalorian isn't going to make it. I'm never going to be scared about this Baby Yoda situation. They're not going to kill Baby Yoda. Come on. So, yeah, geez, talk about subverting expectations, right? Look, the thing is, you talk about them blaming the fans. Well, isn't that always the case? Isn't that always the case with abusers? Wasn't the guy who beats his wife say, well, if she wasn't so mouthy, or if she didn't give me that look, or if she didn't burn the toast in the morning, or, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. The simple fact of the matter is the husband in that case is the abuser, not the wife. But of course, the wife gets blamed and then says, I'm sorry. Well, you know what, Disney? I'm not fucking sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry for speaking out, and you're not going to gaslight me. I don't give a damn what you do. I don't give a damn about your phony little bullshit box office receipts. I know crap when I see it, and I'm going to keep calling it out every single time. I'm not going to be gaslighted or shamed. You're the problem, not me.
Exactly. Well said. Well said,
Thank you,
my
sir.
friend. And listen, they try to frame it so we have to, get backed into a corner and have to always explain and apologize. And I got to the point a long time ago. I'm done doing that shit. I'm going to speak my mind. And I'll do it with other things as well. Wokeman comes out and it's, they crafted Watchmen to be critic proof. That was part of the plan. We're going to do this in such a way that the minute you criticize it, we're going to come out and call you ist. And so, believe me, that happened. No, I'm going to call it out. It was a woke TV show that exploited a horrific moment in history to critic proof your show. There is nothing more shameful than that. And anybody who fed into that crap and got on that team, well, you just went along with exploiting one of the worst shameful incidents in our history, horrific incidents.
Yeah.
So a bad superhero TV show could be critic proof. Well done. You made the world a better place.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I heard that after, I think it was the Monday after the last episode of Watchmen, that we no longer had inequality. And I believe, I can't say this for sure, but I believe that there was no slavery in the United States.
This just come.
It's a rumor.
Yes, it was a rumor, but I think that's been confirmed now.
That there is no slavery.
No, and you can now champion HBO's Watchmen as making the world a better place.
Oh, absolutely. It really, really changed things. And it did trivialize a piece of history that, if HBO had really wanted to, they could have made a whole series about, a whole, mini series about this event in Tulsa. But, it's better to trivialize it and make it a result of police using subliminal hypnosis in movies. That's what caused the riot.
Yeah.
It was basically on the same level of Soylent Green as people, and that Martians came to Earth and were abducting your mom and your dad. So that's the level that they put the Tulsa massacre on. Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, well done. Well played,
sure.
HBO. You're so progressive. Yeah. So, listen, I was half expecting, for them to come around at the end of that show or do something to kind of show both sides. No, they just played more into it at the end. It's got the dumbest ending, meaning they never had a real ending to begin with. They just had all their concepts in the beginning to craft their little show around, because again, it was crafting a story around an agenda, and you paint yourself into a corner narratively doing that. And it showed at the very end when they killed Dr. Manhattan. Well, Dr. Manhattan chose to die because he came back to Earth because he fell in love with the bestest woman ever and gave her his powers. Maybe. We're not entirely sure. I think so. I don't know. But then I stopped caring because it's so dumb. And again, a couple of people like this show, but I will question your sanity. And that's it. But this is what's been continuing to happen. And I mean, honestly, the Access Media has been just as bad as anybody else, as Disney, as CBS, at creating this hatred of fandom, and they're not hiding it anymore.
Yeah. They hate the people that are their customers. Well, guess what, motherfuckers? We're not your customers anymore.
Yep.
Congratulations.
That's simple. Yeah. And I will continue making videos chronicling your demise. And if it does damage to your brand, like Doomcock just said, I'm not sorry. I supported your brand for a lot of years. Helped make a few fans myself, literally and figuratively. And, I feel betrayed. And I'm gonna do what I can, and Doomcock's going to do what he can to try to get you guys to come correct, so people can just enjoy stuff again. And then we can talk about just how bad a movie is, which would be great. If a movie's just bad, we can talk about if it's bad or good. Not because it's bad, because we decided to thrust an agenda into something that there was no place for it anyway, especially Star Wars. Fucking Star Wars is supposed to be for everyone.
Yep.
For everyone. And just around the corner, Doomcock is two shows that I think, I've always loved Doctor Who and Star Trek, and I think they've been damaged just as bad, if not worse, than Star Wars. I don't know. Star Wars killed off its main character, basically.
Star Wars is doomed. I mean, the goodwill is gone. Any real fan out there is no longer going to visit this galaxy far, far away. Not as long as these idiots are in charge. I mean, if George Lucas buys it back, gets rid of Jar Jar and Ruin and Kathleen, and maybe buys it back from Iger or something, and it's a whole other thing. Well, sure, but not under this regime. Not with the mouse ears on it.
No, I especially when we're paying as much as we are for entertainment nowadays, and plus there's so much out there, you don't need to waste your time on Star Wars. It's not even sophisticated enough to compete with certain cartoons like The Mandalorian, for example. Again, I mean, it's not like I'm picking on it or anything. It's a very simple show. It's good. It's simple, but and I call it a live action cartoon, but there's a couple of cartoons that are written better than The Mandalorian, Venture Brothers and Castlevania. I could recommend those two more than I would recommend The Mandalorian.
Right.
I finished The Witcher. My review's coming out. I'd recommend that much more than The Mandalorian. And I don't think it's coincidence that Netflix dropped it on the weekend Star Wars came out. I think Netflix is now the main rival for Disney. I think they're going to hate each other, and I think that might be entertaining for years to come.
Yeah, I do too. I think Netflix is going to do better entertainment in general.
Because they can. I talked about this with Critical Drinker, and we've talked about this before too. Disney cannot make the entertainment that they need to make to survive with a streaming service. That's why they bought Hulu. They're going to start making rated R stuff. If they really stick to the non-rated R plan, they're dead. HBO Max will kill them. Mm-hmm. I hate Watchmen, but I still think Warner Brothers is capable of, making a Joker. For every one thing they do good, they do two things bad, but at least occasionally we get something good. So hopefully they'll learn faster than Disney did and give us something better. I don't know. I mean, we're not going to get another Joker probably ever, but and I don't want there to be a sequel ever to this movie. I think one and done is perfect for it.
Absolutely. I mean, you know my theories about it. It's not really a Joker movie per se, and to have Batman show up or have him start going around in a Joker mobile doing crimes or some shit like that, it would not be good. It would be bad. It would ruin the first one.
I emailed you the script, didn't I? If I
No.
didn't, oh shit. Okay, I'll do that today. I got a copy of the script, the final shooting script. I don't want to say anything. I want you, when you have time, read it, let me know, and then we can discuss it.
Okay,
because,
sounds good. Yeah, appreciate
that. Would be no problem, dude. That would be cool as hell. And I love the Joker. That's probably my favorite film of the year.
Absolutely. It was impressive. It's not like I had fun during it. It was a kind of a painful experience, but I admired it. It was a work of art. It was a mature work, and we don't see that anymore. We used to see that stuff in the 70s from auteur cinema, directors, but I mean, not anymore. I mean, it was intelligent. It was sophisticated. It was open to interpretation. It was unique.
It was cinema.
It was cinema. Yes. The kind of thing you used to have to, you have to go to see art films, to go see these days. I mean, in small little theaters that are usually half empty. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Or direct to video.
Yeah. And now it's like pay-per-view or God, free on YouTube sometimes. And it's and that's bad. Okay. So the independent films are doing very poorly. I think ticket sales for independent films have dropped 30%, maybe more. I know Odin reported on this. I don't know what the update was. That was a few months ago, but that's like your minor leagues of films. And if you lose that, you're dead. I mean, like I think it's shifting to television anyway, but we'll see. Before I get into other super chats, what I've been meaning to ask you, and listen, we're going to be talking about Star Wars for a while. Sorry, but we are going to talk about other things. How do you? To me, I'll start out with how I think about it. I just think the entire Disney trilogy is shit. I just think it's garbage now. There might have been some hope with The Force Awakens, but now that we see it at the end, it's crap. But do you think Rise of Skywalker was as bad or as damaging as The Last Jedi was? Or do you think it's just
Yes. Oh, I think it's worse. Honestly, I think it's worse because well, I mean, it essentially retroactively goes back and reaches into the original trilogy and destroys it. I mean, you've got the entire thing now is the tale of how a cunning and rapacious politician and dark force user conquered the universe, and nobody stopped him. Nobody stopped him. I mean, he asked his daughter to kill him, and she did. And all the Skywalkers were dead, and then she went and took everything that their last Jedi owned for her own. Now, that to me says that the start to finish, this is Palpatine's saga, and that's a ugly, stupid thing. It just takes Star Wars and makes it a mockery, a cynical, ugly exercise made by the House of Wonder, made by the House of Dreams, the Disney Dream Factory. Basically, I thought Disney used to be family friendly and for childhood, and they took something beautiful and made it an ugly, cynical piece of garbage where evil triumphs at the end. That's just straight up it. And they're trying to say, oh, well, it's not evil. It's this Whammon one. This Whammon was the last man standing. Isn't that a wonderful thing? She's a Palpatine. She's a Palpatine. So the movie starts, the saga starts, and fandom Phantom Menace with Palpatine inciting all these intrigues and plotting to overthrow the Republic, and he does. And then at the end of, Return of the Jedi appears, he's defeated, and then boom, turns out he's back. He was there all the time, and he wins. He wins. In the genetic lottery, his spawn lives.
Yep. Oh,
and he was like withered and ancient and dead and had to go. Fine. Okay. But his spawn, his seed, his genes prevailed.
Yep.
Is there any trace of Luke Skywalker's genes anywhere, or Anakin Skywalker's genes?
Nope.
No. Nope.
So the question has to be asked now amidst all the people who are, this is directed right at you, people who say you like this movie and you think you're Star Wars fans. Tell me where it explains in the film how Palpatine came back. Tell me where it explains in the film how Rey didn't get all of the Sith, because she did sacrifice Palpatine, like with assisted self-deletion. Tell me where any of this plan makes sense and what Doomcock just said. Tell me where a Skywalker wins. Tell me how the title is grammatically correct. How did this get past the story group? They were supposed to, I know the answer to this question is but the story group was there to protect canon and shit like that. So bringing Palpatine back at all, for one, he won before the movie even started. The fact that he existed and no Jedi did means he won, because at the starting of this film, there are no Jedi in The Rise of Skywalker. There are no Jedi. There is Jedi ghosts. There are a ghost. Leia's not a Jedi. She can't be. And Rey's not a Jedi.
Nope.
So he won. He won. Maybe that's why his sacrifice didn't work at the end, because he didn't defeat a Jedi. So then maybe that's it. And the whole so it's all about semantics. Remember, Doomcock, I know you remember, I'm talking to the audience. Remember, Doomcock reported multiple times that there were multiple endings to this film. And then people came out and said, no, there's not. No, there's not. And then JJ came out and said, no, the ending is the ending. Well, that ending with her looking at the twin sunsets, that was always the ending. I agree. That was always the ending. But we're talking about the climax, the lead up to that little dual sunset thing. That thing changed. I am convinced. I've got no evidence. I just watched the film. It looks so. Why would you build a crevasse in the middle of a state? Why? So they built a sports arena around a giant crack in the earth. I mean, the safety violations alone. Like, what the hell? It's like, he's got to fall down a cliff, but you're in a stadium. It's okay. It's a cliff in the middle of a stadium. Okay.
Yep. Look. They absolutely had different versions. I mean, so many people have confirmed this to me that and look, the fact that he was reshooting up until, a few weeks ahead of release, obviously means that there were different endings. I mean, if you don't see that, then I don't know what to tell you. I'm not going to waste time trying to convince somebody that, can't even see that much. But my source that talked about the test screening correctly told me, before there was ever any image of Palpatine shooting lightning from his hands, that at the point where my source saw this test screening, Palpatine shot lightning up into the sky and hit the entire Resistance fleet and disabled it. Whereas opposed in this cut, he shoots Force lightning into the sky and hits all the Resistance fleet and doesn't do anything to it, because they kept that, but then they didn't actually pick up the narrative thread. What is the fucking point of hitting the Resistance fleet if you're not doing anything to it? You did nothing to it. Nothing.
No, I think he changed the direction of one. Yeah, they went. That was it.
Oh,
why didn't he? Yeah. You're not supposed to ask questions. That's right.
You're not supposed to ask questions. Well, how did my guy or girl know about that without having seen it? So all of you little shills out there that want to go ahead and say that I'm a liar, you're the liars because A, you don't know one way or the other whether or not I have a source. I mean, just straight up, the people that are saying I'm a liar, that I don't have any sources, they don't know me, they haven't been on my computer, therefore they don't know one way or the other. And so when they say that I definitively don't, they're lying. Do you see what I'm saying? They are flat out lying. They're lying. They're liars. That is absolutely logically irrefutable because they don't know. They don't say, I suspect the Doomcock is a liar. They don't say, well,
no,
I'm guessing. They've
say, been very definitive about
is a liar. Therefore, you're a liar because you don't know, because you couldn't know. Now, I'm telling you, obviously, it's been proven with my videos. By my deeds shall ye know me. Look at what I said. Look at what I reported. Did I manufacture and spread the hashtag Doomcock was right? No, I could, do a Doomcock is, brilliant. Doomcock is handsome, whatever, and it would just die on the floor. It was captured and people were just spreading this thing. I didn't even start it because they could see. So I don't really give a damn what anyone is saying. That's the fact. How did the guy know about the Palpatine shooting the lightning if they didn't see it? Sorry.
And you don't need to be. So what the people out there, the critics out there, listen, you don't have to like Doomcock's opinion. You don't have to like my opinion. I'm not going to do anything, but you got to be very careful how you word stuff. Okay. Just so you know, before you definitively call anybody anything, you got to watch yourself. So again, I'm not going to do anything. I actually, Doomcock and I were called worse much recently by a certain YouTuber in public. Whatever. That's fine. We'll see if I ever run across that person in IRL, if that person is brave enough to say it to my face. And there might be that situation. You never know. But listen, that you don't know. That's the thing. So this, and you also got to look at the motivation. Doomcock, I know for a fact Doomcock has sources who reach out to him. It's not like he's even it's all unsolicited because I get the same. And I'm sure those other guys and gals do too. What we choose to do with it is our business. And Doomcock has always said, these are rumors. Nobody's ever stated anything as a fact, reported as a fact. And oh, by the way, we haven't really, you've never gone over after an individual YouTuber. We've talked about a couple of people who've made hit pieces on you who deserve what they got, but
right, they get a rebuttal.
It was a reaction, a rebuttal. That's it.
If they're big enough, I don't bother with,
yeah, exactly.
Piss ants. I just don't have any time. I'm not going to do it.
No. But if that's how you need to make your cheddar or your whatever here on YouTube, all right, fine. That's good. Means you're relevant. That's all. Let's get to some super chats here. And thank you again all for joining us. You guys are brilliant. We will be discussing Doctor Who, but I mean, essentially, I figured tonight would be, since this is the last Inquisition of the year, we're going to put Disney Star Wars on trial just for their crimes against genre, fandom, and nerds of all shapes and sizes. Their crimes against fandom are unforgivable, and they deserve severe punishment. Justin Doyle for 20 pounds. Hail, gentlemen. What do you think the sequel trilogy should have been like if done correctly? I think Disney could have made $2 billion per movie with images of grown men crying all over for all the right reasons, me included. So sad. So what he's saying is, they could have had something spectacular where we would be singing its praises right now.
Of course.
Doomcock. Yep.
Of course. Anyone who, again, I love these demonstrably false narratives that get spread about us, that the fandom menace is full of haters. I sure hated the hell out of The Expanse.
Yep.
I sure hate the hell out of the Orville, don't I? You go find all those negative attack videos about The Expanse and the Orville. Yeah. Or maybe it's just that those properties are intelligent and well written and well performed, and on top of it all, respectful to fans. Fancy that. What a weird notion, to be respectful to the people that have given you love and money and bought your products all those years. It's the damnedest thing, isn't it?
It really is. And with me, that goes a long way. I will give your show or your movie more of a chance. Honestly, if you're nice to fans, I'm going to give you more than a fair shake. And I did that with The Witcher specifically because Henry Cavill came out, and when he was led by an Access Media dolt who brought up toxic fandom, Henry Cavill answered that question with such finesse. It was goddamn brilliant. I put it in my next video, and I might just put it in every one of my goddamn videos. And he just simply said, I don't see it as toxicity. I see it as passion.
There you go. Yep.
That's all you have to do. And that's all you have to answer. You don't need to stir the pot. You want people to go watch your movie. And guess what? I gave The Witcher a chance, like much more of a chance because of that. And I ended up liking it. So there you go. What do I think they could, Justin, if they would have done what they're doing with The Mandalorian now, not toss out the EU, just adapt what you had plenty to adapt, and adapt adapt the Solo twins, just adapt that would have been epic. And it was all there written for you. The reason they got rid of that litigation, IP litigation. That's it's just easier to toss it all out and then pick out what you want and call it your own, because who knows, Lucas might have made a deal with an author that one character within one book is his property or something like that. And the way you avoid all that, and again, this is my speculation, is you just toss all that stuff, because they've done that like a million times in the comic book industry. So I figure the same thing happened here.
It's possible, although really, I mean, I made the point of in my video where I said that they might well want to go ahead and toss the EU so that they can claim its innovations as their own. Or go ahead and assign Rey force healing and assign Rey force teleportation, and of course, in the EU you have Jedi Masters and Sith and stuff like grabbing spacecraft in midair, and but we never saw that until Rey did it.
Yep.
So I mean, that's basically, she's the amazing Wonder Rey, the bestest ever. And we want to forget about all the other times that other better actual characters did the same thing she's doing.
Yep. And in all fairness, I agree with Doomcock. This cast we could have had a good film with most of this cast. I'm not completely sold on Daisy Ridley, but Oscar
I don't
Isaac,
think she's that bad. I understand. She just had, when has the poor woman had a decent line? When has she had a decent scene? Honestly,
I saw her in Murder in the Orient Express. She was
I haven't
okay.
seen her.
She was okay in that. That movie was like thoroughly okay.
I mean, I'm not saying she would for sure. I'm just saying I don't feel the enormous hostility at the very sight of her that I feel for like Brie Larson, who is just a flat out agent provocateur and doesn't give a damn about fans or anything else.
Yep.
I don't get that feeling from her. I just think she's stuck in a thankless role, and I kind of I pity the fool.
I do. I don't know. She I mean, Mark Hamill wasn't the greatest actor of all time either, but he had a charm and a likability about
Yeah.
him, and
Oh,
aw
yeah.
shucks.
Hmm.
And he also, he just seemed more human, where Daisy just didn't. And maybe it's because she wasn't given the opportunity. But that cast could have made a decent movie. You could have made a decent movie with that cast. I agree with you, if written correctly, or they even tried, or maybe just taking a breath, taking 3 years in between films and having a plan. Then yes, they rushed and they cost themselves billions of dollars. Justin, you're right. Sure, the movies made money, but they did not make as much as they could have. But I guess we could say to Disney what they've been saying to us: can't make everybody happy.
Yeah, they really can't make anybody happy. I mean, even the Raylos were, up in arms about
Yep.
the way that their beloved Raylo was treated, which just actually was very, very funny.
Tell me, how's the next investment, like call into the investors going to go when Bob Iger starts it out? Well, you can't make everybody happy. I mean, I'm sorry the stock is down, and but you can't make everybody happy.
Yeah. So, and also you can't make every ride run.
Yeah. Well,
You can't make every ride run. I mean, some rides are just not going to run. I mean, come on, be fair.
Yeah.
Up to 50% of the rides in Galaxy's Edge
out of the 2 rides,
out of 50% don't run. But I think that's a fair average because, I have to tell you that whenever 50% of rides don't run, 50% of rides do. Therefore,
right.
you see, I think that's cricket. Yes.
Oh, yeah, that one's gonna have trouble. And then they try to give shit to the other most popular ride in the world, at Universal, with Hagrid's ride, or whatever. It doesn't break down as much as Hagrid's. It's like, yeah, okay. So I guess the second ride, whatever it's called, I will never ride it ever. Is based on wireless technology that just keeps bugging out on them, and that's why there's been so much problem. Cornelius Brunias, thank you for the $6. Okay, here we go. Thank you for the $6 super chat. Just finished The Witcher. It was pretty good, but I sense it will go woke by the end of season 2. Just got Amazon Video 30-day sub. Any show suggestions? Oh God, yeah. Amazon Prime. You can watch The Expanse, The Boys.
Patriot.
Yeah.
I recommend Patriot. You haven't watched it yet, but it's great, for sure. Let's see. Recently, actually, The Crown on Netflix, 3 seasons, quite good. The last one was actually much better than I thought it would be after the cast change. So I mean, that's good. Narcos and Narcos Mexico were outstanding on Netflix as well. So there's a lot of great stuff out there. I mean, it really is.
Umbrella Academy. I agree with Narcos. Umbrella Academy. And like, it's good for the performances. It's not perfect to Good Omens. David Tennant. If you like David Tennant, that's good for that. I mean, it's kind of a flawed show.
I would also recommend Animal Kingdom on TNT. Also, I would recommend on TNT Mr. In Between, which is a really, really good show. And a lot of these shows are just kind of slipping under the radar, but Animal Kingdom is like, a lot of people liked Sons of Anarchy. I've tried to watch a few episodes of Sons of Anarchy, and I'm like, really, Animal Kingdom is much better. So I would recommend Animal Kingdom to you guys. It's a crime family show, kind of surfer guys in California dealing drugs and stuff. But it's a great show, dude. Have you ever seen it?
No, I haven't seen
it. You'd like
Ellen
it.
Barkin's in it though, right?
Ellen Barkin. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I used to dig her. What was the movie, the Cajun movie she was in with Dennis Quaid? I had a really good soundtrack, Cajun soundtrack. Oh my God, I love that movie too.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Dennis Quaid. He plays like a crooked cop who Cajun movie. Hang on, I'll find it again. The Big Easy. Yes, The Big Easy.
There you go.
I dug that movie. I don't know why. I just did. Okay. The Witcher going woke next. Hey, listen, anything can go woke. I'm not going to say fucking, I'd be an idiot to say that. But I'll tell you this. There were times I was watching it early on and I said, listen, there's woke moments in it. And there's 5 or 6, but if you watch the whole show, they show the other side. That's all I've ever asked for, is they show the other side. So I'll just say they come out with this anti-natalist bent, but it kind of, remember, we're in feudalistic. This is supposed to be a feudalistic world, right?
Right.
But they show the other side. So you got to watch it all the way through. And it certainly it could turn woke just like half the other shit out there. But I think if it was gonna, it would. It had opportunities based on the source material where it could have, and it didn't. I thought it was good. I thought it was much better on the second viewing. There's some flaws, and I'll talk about them in my review. But it's non-linear, it's entertaining, and you have freaking Henry Cavill kicking ass as Geralt. Freaking awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, so that part I love. Monsters, swords, magic. Fuck yeah. That's what I like. Was it perfect? No, but right now I don't expect anything like that coming from Hollywood. And perfect is rare. Like The Expanse was damn near perfect. That was goddamn awesome.
It really was. I mean, there was a little plot things here or there, but easy to overlook, really.
And what helps with that, Doomcock, the Expanse showrunners are respectful as hell to their fans, and they respect the viewer. Most importantly, the person watching the show, they don't think you're an idiot. They're going to tell you a good story. They're going to show you a complete story. They're not going to they're not going to derail their narrative for their own personal partisan politics, because they're good storytellers. They have integrity. They're not repurposers. They're creatives.
Right. I mean, it's like you said just now. I mean, I don't have any kind of political litmus for my entertainment. I mean, I don't care if a particular showrunner or show has a right-wing bent or a left-wing bent or any particular kind of bent. I mean, artists are going to have their worldview mirrored in their work in one way or another. When I have a problem with is when they forget to include the entertainment. It's just propaganda. When they have dumbass plots where they bend over backwards to have a Mary Sue or some kind of virtue signaling person of color who can do no wrong, etc., and so on. It stops being actual narrative and just becomes straight up propaganda, and that's a problem. And that's a huge problem.
Watchmen's a great example. Alan Moore's Watchmen. We know Alan Moore's politics. I doubt Alan Moore is a conservative. Okay,
no,
I highly doubt it. He's a wizard. He's a wizard, and what he wrote was actually fun, entertaining. It taught us. It had allegories out the wazoo. And it sent a message, a pretty broad message. War is bad. I don't think anybody thinks war is good, but there might be some holdouts out there. What the hell? I like war. Yeah, war is great. I love bombing shit needlessly. It's awesome. No, but Watchmen was, and the HBO Watchmen was propaganda. So Watchmen comic book art, HBO Watchmen propaganda, and both creators probably had very similar politics. Doesn't matter. One knows how to, one's an artist and one's a hack.
Right.
That's all you got.
And besides, I mean, if the total point of your entire show or your narrative or your adaptation or whatever you're doing is to score political points as opposed to tell the best story that you can, you're a hack and you're a goddamn propagandist.
Yep. And fraud. I mean, that's it's fraudulent. And what they, again, I know there's people who like the HBO Watchmen, and I question your sanity and your taste. I tweeted this about an hour ago. Rise of Skywalker is a copy and paste Raiders of the Lost Ark. All the story beats are in the same order. Hail, says George Peter Gatis for $5 Canadian. Let me think about this.
Well, was there a plot? That's the
Yeah.
problem. I mean, was there a plot? I'd like to see an outline of that. I don't really I don't see it.
Yeah, George,
maybe the Raiders video game or something.
Yeah,
on
email
Atari
me your
or
thoughts
something.
on that, because I don't see how him going to Exegol in the beginning mirrors Indy going to Peru and Jovitos. So yeah, I don't see how they mirror that, but maybe, I mean, like, maybe broader point. Yeah, just elaborate on that. Thanks, George, for the 5 Canadian pesos. I appreciate you. Psycho Dwarf 9 for $5 to $5 super chats. The Mandalorian is good but safe. Yes, I think that's a accurate description. I want them to stretch in season 2. They really need to. Gentlemen, I hope Baby Yoda doesn't inspire Baby Wookiee, Rugrats, Leia, Luke, or Toddler Jabba. It will. Psycho Dwarf. I don't know how regular of a comic book reader you were, center of the earth. I don't know what kind of access you had to comics. Okay.
Used to be.
In 2000, from 11 to 2013, my last couple of years, what got really hot was the Scotty Young variants. So the Scotty Young variant, Scotty Young draws like cute little things. He's very Tim Burton-y. The ladies love him. Okay. They love Scotty Young art. He did an Oz book that was very popular. So he did a bunch of baby covers for Marvel. I mean, like, these things made me tons of money, but they were the worst thing to happen to comic books, because that's when the cutesy putesy thing started, and that was in conjunction with pop vinyl showing up. And what it did was it cutesified superheroes, and it was all in an attempt to get more women to read comics. And instead of just trying to sell women comic books, they thought they had to cutesify everything. And then it's what was worse is it sold. Okay, because it was variants and it was hot and speculators got into it and whatever.
Yes. God almighty. They really ruined comics with all the variant covers and speculators buying up copies and putting them right into bags, for God's sakes.
Yep. And hey, listen, what's led us down this road, this whole woke road, is bad data. Straight up bad data that was being passed around. Hollywood started to believe in, instead of reading the data as it was, people started providing them with what they wanted to hear. And what they wanted to hear stems from, especially within genre, stems from Twilight. Twilight was massively successful. It was what started selling out Comic-Con, or was it? So there is Comic-Con started selling out right around the time Twilight showed up. And there's people waiting out for Hall H, and people think that's kind of when that started. Not true. The reason Comic-Con started selling out for real was the fire marshal in San Diego, and in conjunction with the fire marshal here in San Francisco, started putting a cap on their tickets, because the buildings were getting there was too many people in it. It was over the fire code. So they put a cap on the ticket sales, which they didn't used to do. Now, it was getting more popular, but because it was getting more popular in Hollywood, they were also passing out a lot more comps. So there was just less tickets for the general public, and in conjunction with it getting a lot more popular. But it wasn't all, or it had anything to do with Twilight. But there was this narrative going around, especially in comic books, that, oh, well, there was I believe, I'll dig up the article sometime. We'll do it in a future exposition. But there was a poll done on Facebook, basically saying that 50% of comic book readers, this is what they thought, were women. No, there was a poll that went around and said, oh, are you interested in comics? And 50% of it was 50-50, men and women. Right. So they're like, oh my God, there's a bunch of women out there who want to buy comics. We better start making comics for women right now. Let's dive into this hard, because they're the future. They're the future. And then all of a sudden, all the artists started saying it, and creatives. And I was hearing comic shop guys. I'm like, guys, what women, huh? I mean, like, I've been trying personally for my shop for 10 years or less to get people and women. And I succeeded in getting it to like 20%, working my ass off. And I think that was it. That was the max of comic book readers, women who would come in and buy a comic book, minimum 2 or 3 comic books once a week. That's a habitual comic book buyer. Just 18 to 20%, never went higher than that. But all of a sudden and then it spread into entertainment. And I just think there's been a bunch of bad data when it comes to genre. Now, it doesn't mean we don't want them around. I now see more women than I've ever seen at Comic-Con, which is great.
Right.
They're just not buying comic books. They're buying different things. So
different toys or cosplaying or, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Or just wanting to be there. To be there, but they're not like buying the same stuff guys are. So there's been a bunch of bad data. I'm not saying we don't want women around. Of course, that's not true. I'm saying sell them what you were selling us. I think they would like, because you know what? I knew women who like comics from back in the 70s. They liked the same shit we did. They did, with little variation. The only thing I've noticed is back in the past, there was more women who liked DC than Marvel, but maybe that was just my group of friends and stuff. But that bad data was going around. There had been some very good videos that got deleted, unfortunately, by Nurkish did a video on it. I know your boy Zach did a video on it. Go, if you could dig them up, find them. But they talk about that poll. That started a lot of this shit. And then the access media, and then, Disney buying into it. And here we are at the end of it. I think we really are. There's signs that it's going to be a while. Okay. I mean, cause we still got we got the Watchmen just a couple of weeks ago, and that was as bad as it gets, but future stuff it's just going to have less identity politics, but it's going to be more like The Witcher than it's going to be like anything else. So I don't know if that's good enough for everybody, but I believe that's what the future holds, because they do want to make money. They really do.
Well, they're gonna have to do a better job than, these tricks are gonna get old.
Oh God, yeah.
It's gonna get old. I mean, you can only alienate your audience for so long, and all of your hardcore people are gone. So you're not gonna get repeat views. It's gonna be one and done with the majority of these normies, and they're not gonna go out and buy toys and stuff. They're not gonna buy comics. They're not gonna want to participate in expanded universes. They're not going to want to cosplay. They're not going to be ambassadors for your brand. You have no ambassadors for your brand anymore.
Bingo.
You have none, and you richly deserve it. You pieces of filth. I mean, honestly, you bully for you. You drove us all away. Great. Enjoy what you've reaped.
Well, yeah, what you've reaped is the Rise of Skywalker fans you have. Yep. They're out here on YouTube. I'm not going to name them, but there you go. That's what you got.
Yep.
Good job.
Bravo.
Again, I mean, I'm a walking commercial for genre. My office is a walking commercial for genre. I would love to fill it with Star Wars shit. But I don't want to. I don't want to desecrate my walls of wonder with fucking Star Wars.
No, and let me tell you something. There's not a damn thing in there's not a damn thing in all of Disney Star Wars, the entirety of Disney Star Wars, other than in Rogue One, the U-Wing fighter, the U-Wing ship, I thought actually was kind of like a missing link in McQuarrie's universe. It felt like something McQuarrie would have done. And I liked that ship. There was not a single design element in the rest of Disney Star Wars that I found appealing.
No.
And I can't wait to see your sales, Disney, of your Wayfinder toys and your Sith daggers.
If they make them at all.
They won't. I was just kidding. It's hilarious. It's like they're not. I mean, who's going to want that? What kid is going to be playing? Look, a triangle that lights up.
Hey, they can make it right with that Jake Skywalker booby milking play set with a grumpy uncle action. Yeah.
Oh, that would be great. I'd love it.
The Han Solo needless death playset with bad father action. That would be good too.
The Palpatine electrocutes himself by not turning off his Force Lightning playset. Warning, can cause fires.
Because he doesn't know the lightning's coming out of his own hands because he suffers from dementia. All Ray had to do was ask a few more questions and he would have gone, I pooped in my pants. Where's my remote control? Matlock! Sorry.
He's like frying himself with lightning and he taps his medic alert bracelet and says, I've fallen and I can't get up. And it's too late.
It's too late. And he's gone. I doed it in my pants. It's going to happen to all of us someday. So there you go. I'm looking forward to my adult diapers.
I will never shoot lightning at myself.
I will.
That's not going to happen. And if it's being reflected at me for some reason, I'll stop.
Yeah, I'll stop. That was so dumb. That was so dumb. So what was, I'm going to try to be logical about this. This might be dumb. Just stop me if it's too dumb. What was behind? They had to know he killed himself. So were they trying to not have Rey kill him because of the sacrifice? So he had to kill himself. Do you think that's why they made that narrative decision? Or do you think they just didn't give two flying shits and they just wanted to kill him and have Rey involved in it?
I think at that point they were just trying to get out of this thing and they just, they just did it. It makes a certain amount of sense because, he is Count Palpatine, he is the undead. And so when she makes the cross with the two lightsabers, of course it fries him. That's how vampire movies work, isn't it?
Yeah. It feels like there was an ending where Ben killed him. And they wanted to cut that out because they can't have the man saving Rey, but maybe not. I don't know.
That's too much like mansplaining.
It is. Him falling down a cliff in the middle of an arena was. I'm like, what? How did he do that? Because when I heard the leaks, I just thought they were battling on like some surface or anything. I didn't know there was like 60,000 Palpatine fans. They bought tickets. They were eating their little Palpatine popcorn. Chanting,
right? They never applauded.
Chant. No,
and they didn't help either.
No,
that wasn't very nice. They're his, his in-house care. They're his nurses, and yet here he is. Here, Grandpa's electrocuting himself. Well, I don't want to get involved.
Nope.
And they watch when Kylo like crawls back up after being yeeted and thrown over the cliff, and he crawls back up and he gives us the kiss of life. It's just wonderful.
Grandpa got run over by a reindeer. Sorry. Psycho Dwarf, thank you for bringing up that we're going to get baby everything in the future. You bet your ass that is happening.
Absolutely. And I want to apologize to everybody. This week with the holidays and everything, I just I got overwhelmed. So I have not had a chance to do the super chat square up, but I am going to do that in the next day or so. I apologize for that. I have not forgotten. I will get it done. Promise.
I just got mine done today. Sorry everybody. I was in the same boat and I recorded mine today.
Yeah. It takes a while. You got live stuff and
totally.
It's tough.
Nah, they're cool. Hey, it's the square ups are great because you get like focused time,
Absolutely.
So it's like a Q&A. And what I did was I recorded it for my patrons in Subscribestar. So I kind of gave them something and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. Mine was salty today though. I was mad. I was fucking mad. I just got a message that some YouTuber called me, both of us racist, and I was a little hot. Hot. Yeah. So I vented.
Which is a great lie because they never actually turn up any evidence of this. So they're basically revealing themselves to be liars.
Yep. Exactly.
Yep.
And considering the source, it's just, eye rolling at best. Sporking News Podcast, dude. That is a good friend, a YouTuber, fellow brother in recovery. Love you, man. Part of the fourth wave. Stephen Walton, Bear Nerd Fun. I always forget the fourth person. You know what? Next week I will not have forgotten the fourth person. I apologize. I did a lot of drugs in the 80s. I believe The Witcher and The Expanse are our only hope. I agree right now. I listen, there was enough like butch masculinity in The Witcher for me. There was a lot of severed heads. More importantly, the women were not all written as soulful saints and super uber powerful beings. Was there a little bit too much of the woman suggesting stuff to a guy? Yeah, there was. But it wasn't terrible. And the women were written with complexity. Partially, probably. Listen, there was a woman showrunner. So, and I've always said that the men are in fear right now. They don't even want to write women with any complexity at all. And they did. They were, the women were dumbasses in it, and they did, and it was believable. Plus, I love the genre, and it had monsters and magic. So there you go. Justin Doyle for £5. If the Disney trilogy was a fighting game, the end declaration would be Palpatine wins. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. It'd be like fatality. Palpatine wins.
No, this is like a medieval feudalist victory. I'm like, not only going to beat you, I'm going to take your family name.
Yes. I have seized your ancestral lands. I have seized your moisture farm. I have seized your weapon and buried it in the ground where it will lie without honor until all eternity has passed. I've taken your name. I am the last of your lineage now. House Palpatine is House Skywalker.
Yeah. I mean, what did General Zod, I mean, not the Man of Steel one, the one from Dawn of Superman, say to Jor-El when he was vowing his revenge? You will kneel before me, both you and then one day your heirs, shit like that. That's what happened,
That's right.
Wes Moody for $10. Hail Inquisition. I was wondering if either of you could explain the plot of The Rise of Skywalker. I can't figure it out. Also, my goal is to be at 194,000 subs by Monday. I only need 193,900 to go. Would love a shout out. Hail. Everybody. Okay, we all need 193,900 people to subscribe to Wes Moody's channel. I'm going to put the link. Oh, God.
Well, before you do that, subscribe to mine, because even I don't have 194,000. Do you have 194,000?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Actually.
Well, I don't. So,
Wes Moody. Well, he's got a little ways to go. Though. Wes, where's your? I can't get to your link. I'll get your link in there soon. Okay, so when you're looking at the super chats inside the studio, YouTube, if you're watching, you need to fix this. Where it says go to channel, it doesn't go to the channel. It goes back to my channel. I want to go to his channel. By the way, if you want to subscribe to Doomcock, there's a new feature in the description that I really liked. YouTube did something good. If you hit Doomcock, if you hit the @ symbol, and then you start typing my name, it'll fill in automatically, and it automatically links to your channel. So if you go to the description, you will see a little @Overlord DVD. All you have to do is click that, and it goes right to his channel.
Oh, thanks. That's great. Well, now I'll put that in there as well on you. That's fantastic.
They will do. Yeah. So it automatically fills it's in. It's really cool. Wes, I will get back to you. I will put your link in. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for the $10. Chim Jacuzzi for $5. Any thoughts on Daniel Craig as Bond? I only like Casino Royale. All his Bond films, all the other ones are terrible. What are your thoughts on that? I kind of agree with that.
Well, Quantum of Solace is a horrible film. Yeah. I mean, it's just unwatchable. It's the worst edited film I've ever seen in my life. Period.
It really is.
It is unbelievably bad. Where every second they're cutting to another shot. It is just the most ridiculous piece of garbage I've ever seen. So, I like Daniel Craig as Bond. I don't think it's his fault. I think he's been given some crappy scripts, and I love Casino Royale. I think it's fantastic. I mean, so I don't know what else to say. What do you think?
I love him as Bond. To be honest with you, I think Casino Royale might be my favorite Bond film. Right up there with I mean, I like Dr. No, but I mean, go back and watch. You want to talk about bad editing? There's a lot of technical mistakes in that movie. I still love it, and it's got Sean Connery, and he's perfect. But I love Casino Royale. I fucking love that movie. Love it, love it, love it. But all the movies after are just really boring and forgettable, except Quantum of Solace. The only thing good about that was that parody song they did, where somebody. It's on YouTube. It's pretty funny.
Okay.
All the other movies are boring and forgettable, and they're like way too grim.
Much.
Yeah, and it's not. Bond is supposed to be fun. And they're not fun. Skyfall, man. I mean, I like Sam Mendes as a director, and they just never. Yeah, they were just kind of meh. So yeah, it sucks. Because I think he's a waste of a good Bond, and the one thing this new one has, I think the new one's gonna suck. Okay, I'll just come out and say it. With Phoebe Waller-Bridge involved, I think it's gonna be woke and it's gonna suck. And that's Daniel Craig's fault, by the way. I like him as Bond, but he's the one who brought in Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Great.
And and he's the one who did this. Hang on. Here we go. Here's our boy. Here's James Bond. So
for fuck's sake.
Yeah. So for any wokeness that's coming into Bond, he's got a lot to do with it. And I don't appreciate that. And that really
Stupid
sucks.
Shit.
Yeah.
So basically what you're saying is that Daniel Craig is the Gillette of actors.
Yep.
So basically Daniel Craig is lecturing all of us on how to be better men. And I guess that includes dressing up as women and allowing them to control the conversation and insult us and ruin the last vestige of male entertainment out there.
Yep.
Is that would make us better men?
Yes.
Wow, what a piece of shit.
That'll make us better men. Sorry, I just destroyed my shin on my freaking desk. It's like, bleeding.
Dude.
God damn it. Ouch.
Another thing to blame on Sean Connery.
God damn it.
I mean on Daniel Craig.
I'm checking my leg right now. It's like, ooh.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
I got myself good, but I'm going to play through it.
Suddenly blood starts spurting up and he's going like Julia Child in that SNL skit.
Yeah.
We're feeling a little lightheaded. What? Oh, the Phantom Menace, Star Wars, Doctor Who. God.
Hang on. I got to check this out. Yeah. That's a good one, man. Woo. Yeah, I got something sharp down here. Not very advisable. I just sliced it. It was good.
Oh shit. Sucks.
So yeah. Okay, sorry, got a little distracted there. But yeah, Bond's gonna go woke, and that sucks because Daniel Craig was a good Bond. If you want to see a good Daniel Craig film, watch Layer Cake by Matthew Vaughn. It's one of the best movies ever made, to be honest with you. But no, I don't think Bond has a future in Hollywood until they get off their woke train. So maybe Bond needs to take a couple year break. The only thing I can say that might be a positive about this film is the guy who's directing it directed True Detective season 1, which is probably the best season of television. I mean, it's right up there.
That was great.
That was fantastic single season of television. Like for a single season, I gotta say, well, because I know you love The Prisoner. I love The Prisoner. Aside from The Prisoner, I don't understand it nearly as much as you do at all. But we'll say True Detective season 1 was probably one of the best single seasons of television ever made.
Yes.
And it was Cary Fukunaga. I can't pronounce
Fukunawa.
I will get it. He's from Oakland.
It was great. It was great. I loved it, and I have no complaints, no criticisms. I thought the performances were uniformly brilliant, and
Fukunaga, Cary Joji Fukunaga. So I think he's just a gun for hire in this film. I think he is a very talented director. So, but I don't know, man. I don't see Mr. Robot as a villain. That's any kind of threat to Daniel Craig. He was good in for what I liked about Mr. Robot till the end. And I didn't see the Queen movie. Did you see the Queen movie?
No. Mm-mm.
I didn't see it either. I don't know why I didn't want to see the Freddie. I love Queen. I didn't get around to seeing it.
I never go see these biopics. I just don't care. There's something about it, you know. I didn't see Walk the Line about Johnny Cash. I didn't see, you know, the Freddie Mercury thing. I didn't see the Elton John thing. It's just, you know what? If I want to hear Elton John or Queen, I'll just listen to the CDs. I don't want to. I don't know. I don't get the point.
The only one I can recommend is the other one I've seen. Okay, because I generally don't like him either, but I'm a crazy Johnny Cash fan, like crazy. So I saw Walk the Line. I fucking loved it. That was gold. That was oh my god, I'm blanking on his name now. He just directed Ford versus Ferrari. He directed Logan. Goddamn, what's his name now? Shit, I hate being on a live stream and that happens. It
Who
is director of Logan. Who was the director of Logan?
Oh,
he did Walk the Line too.
Yeah,
James Mangold. I was gonna say it's Gold something. It's James Mangold. Yeah, there you go. Walk the Line is good. Walk the Line is solid. Joaquin Phoenix is the shit in that movie. He's so
he's
good.
Great. But I've never seen it, so I should see it sometime.
Yeah, that one is it. But I feel you on all the other ones.
I just don't get it. I don't know.
Yeah, this one's different though. It's different. I don't know why, but it is. Okay, so we got Tim Jacuzzi. I think you're right, man. I think Bond is. I think we all saw Casino Royale and we thought, holy shit, Bond's going to be great. And it turns out Pierce Brosnan had a better run than Daniel Craig. I think so. Not all of his movies were perfect, but they were a little more fun.
I didn't really watch them. I don't know. I
like Goldeneye. I thought there was like some really good.
I don't even think I ever saw one of Pierce Brosnan's. I don't know. I don't know.
Two of them are good, and a couple of them are pretty bad.
I heard Goldeneye was. I mean, that was the first one he was in, and
I like that one.
It was good.
Yeah, I liked it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's very basic Bond. It's not like it's nowhere near Sean Connery or Roger Moore level. I grew up on Roger Moore. So I like the Roger Moore films, a lot of them, even the shitty ones I like. But I mean, Sean Connery is still Bond. And then Daniel Craig was Bond for one movie. He was like Casino Royale's a shit. What happened with Nerd Junior Teacher? Condor Man rules. Bastard for $1.99. Oh, Nerdrotic Junior's teacher. We had a conversation. At the parent-teacher conference about how we word certain things around my son, considering the condition and considering, not everybody believes what she does. And she needs to remember that her opinion isn't the only one in the world. I don't know if it got through or not. I doubt it, but that's the conversation we had. Crazy Eyed Jedi for $2. Looking forward to Inquisition 2020. I am too.
Absolutely. In 2021 and
yes,
2022, the Inquisition is here every Sunday, folks. Your must-see Sunday destination.
So there have been tons and tons of requests. The most requested thing is that T-shirt for that image that was done of us in the Pulp Fiction image. So I need to, that artist, if you're out there, contact me, and then I got to talk to Doomcock, and we have to discuss things, and we'll see if we can make it or not. We'll give it a shot, but we have to talk to the artist first, and then Doomcock and I have to talk. And if we could work something out, hell yeah, I'll get that done. But we got to do something that's fair to everybody, especially the artist who made that image. Hail, but thank you, Crazy Eyed Jedi. Nicholas Horton for £5. Hail, Gary and Doomcock. The Inquisition of 2020 will be putting both upcoming episodes of Doctor Who onto the rack. The BBC won't win back all of the fans. No, some of the fans are gone permanently. Nicholas Horton. It's certainly, listen, don't go for the setup. So there's an article that came out that if we have time, we'll go over it. That's basically saying we're Well, the sentiment is, I don't think it actually said this, but the sentiment is it might not be as politically correct as it was last year. Bullshit. Bullshit. I didn't remember before Star Trek Discovery season 2, Doomcock.
Mm-hmm.
The people had their hopes up again. People were going, maybe it's going to be good. It couldn't be as bad as season 1. Remember that?
I can't understand people like that. You're right, but I cannot understand that. What in God's name would make people think that? Oh, because they were going to bring Pike and Spock back, for fuck's sake. Come on. I never believed it for an instant, but yes, people actually thought that. And then sure as hell, some people are actually hoping, believing that Picard is going to be righting the ship. Well, I got news for you. It ain't going to right nothing.
Nope.
It's going to actually drive you people insane. Those of you who care nothing about the original series, but love the Next Generation. Well, it's your turn.
Yep.
It's your turn. Now, I love both. So,
yep.
I mean, it's going to, but see, I'm inoculated. I'm the Sicilian.
That's a great way to put that.
I'm the Sicilian in Princess Bride. It's like,
I have already infused as much of the STD as I'm going to have to. I'm immune.
I'm immune. I'm inoculated. So I'm going to look at Picard and whereas it would kill, 5 normal geeks, I can take it.
Tolerance.
Yes, I've got a tolerance now. My blood is toxic. I mean, if I get cut, it leaves smoking holes in the pavement. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like alien blood at this point.
Blood.
But I don't feel the pain anymore. I've survived 2 seasons of Star Trek Disgracery. But I tell you what, folks, they have done their best with Picard. They got Chabon in there to dekurtzmanize it. He dekurtzmanized it as much as humanly possible, and it wasn't good. It's not good. It was so good that they went ahead and fired Chabon and gave him his own show, which was canceled like 4 days later. So yeah, that's how good Picard is.
Oh, his show's gone.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're quietly after we announced that. Oh, and he's going to adopt Cavalier and Clay, and it's like not so much. After 4 days later, he's calling. So when are we meeting? When are we? It's like we'll get back to you.
And then exactly, and then it's Harvey, and then they eventually just don't pick up the phone at all. That is definitely a Hollywood trick. You're not going to see people get fired publicly anymore. Okay. No. Alex Kurtzman was removed from fucking Star Trek Picard, period. Who was the showrunner before Chabon came in? Was it nobody? Was it fucking nobody? Were they running a show with nobody?
Yes.
So
yes. Effectively.
I guess. So they had to, when they brought Chabon in halfway through the production, he was replacing somebody. And we reported that Kurtzman had been removed from Picard.
Yeah.
So now Chabon is gone, but this is supposed to be riding the ship. And yes, that is the narrative you are going to hear from the Access Media. Listen, the Access Media can't even get their own fucking story straight. Quentin Tarantino comes out 2 days ago, gives an interview and says, I'm pretty much fucking done with Star Trek. I'm moving on. I mean, there's a slight possibility, but I'm pretty much done, which nobody ever thought it would get made. Then there's an article 2 days later in Screen Rant going, no. Simon Pegg said that Quentin Tarantino is still going to do Star Trek. Can we get, too bad I don't have the soundbite of Quentin Tarantino saying Simon Pegg doesn't know shit. Tom might have it. But he's not doing Star Trek. He's not doing fucking Star Trek. And what's going on here is Chabon got fired. Chabon got fired.
He did.
And it's because he probably did his best.
But it doesn't really matter whether he did his best or not. Did they fire him because he made Picard such a resounding success?
They must have. Or look at the other side of that coin. Did he quit because of Picard being such a success? Like he just said, this is my first show ever. Although I want to do more shows in the future, but I'm going to mic drop this one. I turned around Picard. Now I'm going to walk away. No, either scenarios. So he either
Just credulity. He's
Yeah.
out because he failed. Picard is a dog. It is only 3 weeks away. Where are shots of the ship? Where are shots of Vulcan Legolas? We've got the Vulcan elf. Where's more footage of him shooting his fucking bow and arrow? Come on. You saw him on the clip, Vulcan Legolas, right?
bow and arrow.
He's got a bow and arrow.
There was a bow and arrow in Star Wars.
And pointed ears, and he's a Vulcan elf. Lego Spock. And where's the shots of him on the planet being the bestest Vulcan dwarf ever, elf ever, shooting his bow and arrow? Where's shots of the ship? Where's shots of Picard saying engage? They're hiding all of it. Haven't seen shit in 3 weeks.
We're 3 weeks away.
At EW, where this thing is hidden with all the shame of a cat turd in the sandbox.
It is. And I guarantee you, folks, by the way, I don't want to sound too narcissistic or anything, but I guarantee you we'll see a trailer now within 48 hours because we brought this shit up.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Last time we brought something up within 48 hours, there's some interview going, oh, it's still coming. Here comes Picard. Because the last time, it was 3 weeks ago. We're like, nobody's heard about Picard. Does anybody even know when it premieres? And it's about 25 days away, folks. The return of Captain Picard is in 25 days, and it's a fart in a wind. You wouldn't know it.
And
we weren't talking about it.
Dude, I don't know if you ever noticed this. Okay. I don't know if you noticed this. Very few people did. I even brought it up to one of my sources who said, huh? But as God is my witness, on CBS for a while, I watched Survivor. Okay. Yeah. And you would see the CBS logo, and it would get wiped, and right behind it would be a Star Trek Delta badge that would just flash subliminally on there for maybe half a second and then fade.
No way.
I swear to God. No, I'm telling you the truth. I've saw it over and over and over again on different shows. I don't think they're doing it anymore. No, they were doing it for sure.
They were doing it. Probably is it well, why not? That's their biggest franchise. I mean, I understand why they were doing it. I don't watch any CBS, so
only, but on all the shows, on Survivor. I mean, that's where I saw it. But I would also watch football on CBS on Sundays, and I saw it there a couple of times. And they're not. I don't see it anymore. I think they know. I think they've given up that this thing.
They have to. It's a money pit. It's a money pit. They can spin all the shit they want. Listen, it's not getting watched by anybody because you could just, like we've done before, comparative analysis. You just look for another genre show that's probably got as many fans as Star Trek, and you just compare it. Like we used Watchmen. We're like, okay, we don't like Watchmen. It's on HBO, but it trended on Twitter. It did. It trended on Twitter. It generally tends to do that when you race swap Dr. Manhattan and then kill him. But Star Trek Discovery has never done that. The Orville has done it. The Expanse, when it aired weekly on Sci-Fi, used to do it. Normal TV shows trend when the freaking Witcher trended for a while, actually. Star Trek Discovery never trends. Never. So they've been hiding and spinning and lying. And this was the whole point of my last Star Wars video was what hopefully it came across was don't lie to your fucking fans. If things are doing good, they're doing good. If they're not doing good, you know what? Don't lie to make them look bad to cover your ass. Just don't say anything. Do what they used to do and not say anything. But now they're trying to lie about fans to make fans look bad to cover their ass. And that shit needs to stop because that's where the adversarial relationship gets worse. And we don't want that. But again, we didn't create it. We didn't create the situation. It's a situation though. It's happening. You could choose not to play and that's fine. But nothing changes that way. It just stays the same. That's how shit stays the same, by you not saying anything.
Mhm. That's absolutely true.
Yep.
And well, go ahead and release your trailer. You can't hide it forever.
No,
I can't wait though. It's
I
gonna
just
be
don't
so
think they have.
fucking awful. It's gonna be so bad. Come on, man. They haven't even shown what the the ship is gonna look like. That's how bad it is.
I thought no, you know what? I thought I saw one at con, but it was it was a model of another ship.
I
And
don't know what the ship is gonna look like.
yeah, I
know
don't
we know
either.
what the inside looks like. It looks like the cargo bay on an STD ship. That's what it looks like.
Got the biggest goddamn bridge. Yeah, lots of nice usage of
huge
space.
bridge.
Yeah,
Huge bridge.
and Picard has a Mal coat from Firefly. You know,
Take my dog, take my land, take my hair, you'll understand.
Yep. Number 1 made number 2 in the vineyard. Darth Cisco has become a member at the Geologia level. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Mutated Genome, patron, friend. Glad I found you in DVD. Happy New Year's, fellas. Thank you. Glad you found us, and we're glad we found you. TK, member upgrade to Geologia. Thank you, TK. I appreciate it. Hyperion 9997 Canadian, 2 Canadian pesos. Hopefully Doctor Who won't be Dr. Woke. It will be. Did you see the images from Spy Hard? She's dressed like Matt Tennant. Yeah, it's straight
Really?
up Matt Tennant. Yeah, let me, if I can pull this up.
Matt Tennant.
She looks like Matt Tennant. Or I don't know, or David Smith. Yeah.
Wow.
And apparently Radio Times gave it a bad review, the episode, which airs in a couple of days, folks. Couple of days.
Oh.
There it is. Nope, that's not it. I've got all my I'm working on a video right now and got all my bookmarks up. Oh my, I have like hundreds of bookmarks. It's really terrible. It's bad organization here.
Well, you keep jumping ahead of the storm.
You got to try.
Explosion, you just got to do what you can do.
Here, I get it right here. Let's just go to show full history. Doctor Who. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, come on. I need a producer someday. Someday. I'm just trying to figure out what article it's in. I've never heard of this website. So
I'd love a producer.
iNews.
I need my own Robin Quivers. That's what I need.
There you go. She laughs at all your jokes and hey,
well,
Robin.
I mean, it wouldn't be a job requirement, but generally, you know.
Yeah.
I have some Doomcock darlings that tend to find me amusing. Probably
There
work.
you go. Okay, politically correct. Here, I've been wanting to get this article. There. All right, so here is the picture that probably everybody's already seen because they looked it up on their own faster than I did, but that's the way it goes, man. Stop sharing. And for one, so what I've heard that they changed multiple directions for Doctor Who Series 12. First, they were going to make it more like Tennant. Then they were going to make it more like Matt Smith and David Tennant. Then they were going to make it darker. Then they were going to make it lighter. Then they were going to make it less politically correct. Then they're going to have an episode about a concentration camp. So I don't know how you make that not PC. So their spin is, I don't understand what's politically correct about saying there is still racism within our current society. That's Jodie Whittaker's statement concerning the clapback over Rosa, which was pandering and exploitation of a historical event by 2 British writers.
Right.
By 2 British writers, by the way, didn't grow up in America. They portrayed all Americans as racist. It was really a very ham-fisted, horrible episode. And it also exploited Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks. I critiqued it as an episode, calling it dog shit, which it was. I got a lot of shit. I don't care. They had a space racist come down because he wanted to stop Rosa Parks because he was a space racist. No context given. Because they didn't need to, because they weren't telling a story. They were trying to create a conversation. So if you criticize the episode, you were called an ist or a phobe. At the time I didn't care. This is really the early part of my channel where I just stop giving a fuck what people think. So she goes on to talk. They dial some of this back a little bit, but here's the picture right here.
Mm-hmm.
There's Matt Tennant right there.
Yep. Oh, for fuck's sake, with a bow tie and Tennant's code, and where's her fucking fez? Fez is so cool.
So here's the thing is, like, she's still a male doctor. They haven't addressed the female part other than complaining in the Witchfinders episode that if I was a bloke, that wouldn't happen. Except for the fact that she was exposing her legs in like the 1500, and that probably would have gotten her stoned to death or something like that. Yeah, I mean, she's this is all political. The imagery is politically correct. Everything's politically correct about it. Mm-hmm. It's an after-school special, and they took a show that was seminal. I know it's laughable, right? The whole family could watch this and actually learn some lessons. And one of the best heroes alive for boys. You had a guy who talked his way out of problems, did not use violence ever, was just out clevered people and didn't always win, and was a great family show that's now turned into, it was partisan propaganda last year. I haven't seen series 12, so that remains to be seen. But like Doomcock said earlier, what do you people expect? This is the same writer from last season with the same writing staff as last season, except they added another political playwright and another soap opera writer to join all the other political playwrights and soap opera writers. How do you think it's going to be different?
Not. And if you look at the universe, Gary, keep that screen up. You talk about synchronicity and kind of messages. Oh, damn it. It went away. There was like a little thing in the corner there that said "Why Women Kill," and it had like a woman.
Oh, I see
with
it.
A knife, and that was just like, it's just perfect. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. The universe is like, this is the real message. There is castration. This is like shaming. Why is it politically correct to say this? It's because you're shaming people, because you're virtue signaling, because you're not actually doing anything to improve anything. And your coverage of Rosa Parks, who was a hero and a pioneer, is to make her fodder for a cheesy ass, lousy season of a space show with a space racist that gets involved in this incident. Fuck you and your phony lip service and your fake caring. I mean, when are you going to step down, Jody? When are you going to give it to a woman of color if you're so damn concerned about it? You're so full of shit. So full of shit. All these blonde, pale women like Bree and Jody are, they're so eager to give up their living to advance the cause of equality. What a bunch of phonies.
Oh yeah, Jody. I'll find it. I mean, she considers herself marginalized. The affluent white blonde woman considers herself marginalized.
Oh, absolutely.
She's so marginalized.
Oh, so she's so stunning and brave to accept this role so that she can cast off the shackles of her oppression and really pioneer new ground for lovely blonde-eyed, blue-haired women
who are marginalized. Just the bourgeoisie,
marginalized.
Why Women Kill, by the way, is available on CBS All Access.
Exactly.
CBS All Access.
See, it's just funny. I couldn't get it out before.
No, it's all good. I saw it in the delay. So well played, sir. Well played. Okay. Man, that went down a rabbit hole, didn't it? That's just because Hyperion 997's like, I just said, I hope Doctor Who's not woke, dude.
Well,
it still stings. Okay. God damn it.
It's woke. I'm
It
sorry,
is.
it is woke. Your hope is futile.
Yeah,
It's woke. I'm telling you.
it is woke. So the hope is we hope it isn't woke anymore. But what's going to happen to the show if it stops being woke is then the critics will be forced to be honest about it, and then they're just going to say it's a shitty show. Look what happens. Let Star Wars be your example of the fall of Skywalker wasn't as woke as freaking Last Jedi. Because it went too fast. You couldn't catch all the wokeness in it. It's fucking there, believe me. But I would say it wasn't as woke, and the access media felt betrayed, and they start turning on it. That's the exact same thing will happen to this. People will, once you stop being woke, because that's all fucking Doctor Who was. The writing was terrible. The shows were awful, poorly edited. The only thing, they had nice cameras. They shot with some nice cameras. That's about it. That's the only nice thing I could say. The music, straight up, the music was awful, and I want to say something. I won't. We'll just say I think it was a hire to satisfy their diversity quota that they have. By the way, that the BBC has. This is public information. They have diversity quotas. And it applies to their show, and it shows. They had a character in the New Year's Eve special introduce himself as gay without saying his name. We never heard his name, but we found out he was gay. Yes, that is a fact. That happened in Resolution. So yeah, this show that's all it has is woke. So once that goes away, the critics are going to go, oh, it's just a shitty version of Doctor Who. It's a really, really shitty version of Doctor Who. And unfortunately, there's a decent character in there. It just so happens to be the old white male, but yeah, he's good. He's good. It gets swallowed up in all this garbage. And Jodie is a terrible doctor, objectively a terrible doctor. She's doing a bad David Tennant impression, and that's it.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah. You're spot on.
Watching that series sucked, and it's like, God damn, I'm gonna spend my New Year's watching this shit. Fuck.
God. Yeah, when does it premiere again?
New Year's. It premieres here in the States. New Year's Day. New Year's Day.
Well, on what? BBC America or something?
BBC America. Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep doing the wrong one.
Yeah, it happens.
I got to do the Chrome tab. Where's the pop out? There it is. Okay, back to this. Back to you, super chats. Back to you, Chit. Here we go. Sam Whiskey for $4.99. Hail Nerdrotic and Doomcock. Disney's The Black Hole is the best Star Wars movie Disney ever made. Yeah, maybe. I don't
know. It was okay. I liked 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. I thought that was a pretty good Disney movie.
I didn't know that was Disney. That was Disney. Huh.
Oh yeah,
it's been a long time since
with James Mason and Kirk Douglas.
Good stuff.
Peter Lorre. Yeah, that's a good movie.
I liked Black Hole, but I watched it when I was like 8.
Right.
So but it had Slim Pickens as those floating droids. I had the action figures and everything. Yeah. But it's probably a terrible movie. I haven't seen. I liked it. I did. I probably like it for its charm, but it's probably not very good. But I don't know. It's probably better than Disney Star Wars, to be honest.
Oh God, yes. Oh, come on. No way. There's no comparison.
Now I want to watch The Black Hole. Watch The Black Hole and Flash Gordon back to back. Get some like late 70s, early 80s sci-fi. Flash. Gordon's alive.
Dispatch war rocket Ajax to bring back his body. Flash.
Earth. Earth.
He'll kill every one of us. Oh, that's Harvey. Sorry.
Bum, 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 bum. The football scene, my favorite. I love that music too. God. Go Flash, go! Go Flash, go!
Oh God!
Cheers to the Inquisition, ending 2019 with a RIS RIS. What's that? What's RIS show for? I should probably know that, Andrew Brown, for $4.99, but
Was it a typo for Rise of Skywalker,
maybe ROS? Yeah, maybe. And ending 2008. Yeah, that's probably it. Can only imagine what 2020. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so I'll read it again. Cheers to the Inquisition, ending 2019 with a Rise of Skywalker. Can only imagine what 2020 holds. Happy holidays, and here's to the future. Hail 2020 Inquisition. We have no Star Wars this year, other than I guess the Mandalorian's coming out. Season 2 is coming out, but no Star Wars in the theaters, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Oh yeah, I mean they've screwed it. Who I don't know. Screw it.
Drunk Rhino for $5. Hail Gary, hail Doomcock. Did you catch the actor who played Yoren on Game of Thrones said a feast for crows and Witcher? Yes, I did. I did in episode 8. Pretty funny. I thought so too. As a matter of fact, I turned right around to Mrs. Nerdrotic. We were watching at my office, and I pointed to my Feast for Crows books. Yes, they really did. I know the showrunner wants to distance herself from Game of Thrones, but I'm guarantee you the marketing people, played up the sigil part of it. But it's nothing like Game of Thrones. Nothing like Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is like ultra. It's like if Chris Nolan, trying to relate this to cinema fans, if Chris Nolan tried to do fantasy, he would ground it as much as possible. That's what George R. Martin did. He wanted to do a Lord of the Rings where he explained where the helmets were paid for, how they paid for a war, how you fed armies and how armies starved and how shit could go wrong and how prophecies are messed up. But the more I learn about Tolkien and his world, there was no tropes in that. There's no Tolkien tropes. He was pretty cutting edge for his time. Yeah, very much so. So, but I love them both. Drunk Rhino for $5. Hail Gary, hail Doomco. Oh, I read that. Drunk Rhino, thank you for the $5. Mage Grey Wolf for $5. The Star Wars sequel trilogy is like the end result of the human centipede. That movie's disturbing. The only thing more disturbing is Cecil's Mego centipede, which is good. He added Alice to it, so that's good.
Excellent.
That's awesome. Hail Cecil. Captain Spire for $5. Hey guys, on my cell, I get frequent notifications of live streams. It would be easy to accidentally stop that notifications to stop all notifications. Okay, so hey guys, on my cell, I get frequent notifications of live streams. It would be easy to accidentally stop that notification to stop all notifications. Oh, yes. That's a good thing to point out. If that's how a lot of people get the bell accidentally taken off, if you stop your notification on your cell phone, you can accidentally hit all, and it stops all your notifications from YouTube, period, from all your channels. So
well, that makes a certain amount of sense.
Yeah. But it's easy to do. Just saw your message, Gary. I'm free all night. It says Echo Base $1.99. Yeah, I'll try to call you afterwards if we get things wrapped up at a decent hour, because I know you're on a different coast than I am. Max Santiago for $2. Luke Skywalker was my way in. It's dead to me. Yeah, same here, man. I don't care about anything outside. I mean, I didn't get into the EU, and by the way, Disney trashed it, so there's no EU to get into. So if you're presenting me with just Disney Star Wars, we have a pretty decent side quest with a guy who never shows his face in half-an-hour TV shows written like a cartoon that are good, but they're written like a cartoon. You might see it differently. I think you will probably. There's tons of plot holes. There's illogical scenarios. Like you have bad guys negotiating and then walk in. It's like, okay, we'll give you like 6 hours now and walk away. Give them enough time to escape.
Yeah. So I hate shit like that.
Yep. The kind of shit they made fun of in Austin Powers. They did. Yeah. The Substitute 3 for £5. The end of the Skywalker saga was two Palpatines fighting each other. dismal Disney. Agreed.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
100%.
Since when does C-3PO have knees? Does he have knees now? Did they put knees on him? Yeah, he's not supposed to, Zach Stoey. I didn't check. No, there was no stakes in this. Anything they threatened to do. So the whole killing of the original cast looks like it might have been in there and they just undid it. You know, I think you pointed that out. Like maybe
Yeah.
Chewbacca was really dead and they decided to reshoot that.
It's all bull. Yeah. I mean, same thing with Leia dies. Well, then we can talk to Han, dead Han. We can talk to dead Luke. So takes this thing out of death. It's just a load of crap. Straight up.
Yeah. And, I hear people defending it and the defenders keep going, well, if they just added this, well, then it didn't work in the film. If they had just added, if there's a lot of ifs involved with your explanation to defending a film, the writer didn't pull it off. And they're already doing the Endgame stuff where they're like, because I have tons of problems with Endgame now after I've watched it a few times. But listen, it's much better than Fall of Skywalker. But the Fall of Skywalker just doesn't work at all. There's
Right.
no connective tissue. There's no sense to it at all. All it does is shit all over the mythos, which is now meaningless. So I guess it doesn't matter. Like the Force is just this willy-nilly thing that anybody can fucking do and heal people and teleport shit. And,
Yep.
I mean, forget now you have to apply that to all the old films though. Why didn't Obi-Wan teleport another lightsaber to Qui-Gon when he's fighting fucking Darth Maul, because he's a dick.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why didn't he heal him? Why don't the Force ghosts come and help? It's just endless. They don't think of the consequences of their actions.
As Jar Jar said, fuck it. He's going to do what he wants.
Yep. And he did.
This is your Mary Kay Cosmetics comment. Rob Slevin for $5 says Darth Avon calling.
Darth Mary Sue. Exactly.
Darth Mary Sue. Nicholas Horton for £5. The new Wurzel Gumridge remake was premiered last. I don't even know what that is. What's Wurzel Gumridge remake, which premiered last week on BBC One? They race swapped the two main kids.
I don't know.
Maybe I'm mispronouncing that. Let me go see what it is. I can't say I've heard of anything, but maybe
I'm not sure of that at all.
Oh, okay. So, this is it's John Pertwee played Wurzel Gumridge. I knew what this character looked like, but I never knew the name or anything. But third Doctor played him, and it's like a vaudeville kind of thing. Like a hobo-y looking clown thing, but I know nothing about it. I know like zero about it. I'll show you a picture though. It's pretty horrifying looking, to be honest with you. I hope this wasn't for kids. but this is, that's Pertwee right there.
Oh, God Almighty! Wow.
So he looks like Freddy Krueger, and he does. But yeah, thanks, Nick. I had seen that before, but yeah,
God,
that was freaky.
Bad. Looks like Red Skelton with advanced syphilis or something.
That's terrible. Thanks, Nicholas Horton's awesome. Man.
Yes.
Cracklin for $10. The Breaking Bad creators took careful attention to the continuity of their story. Series like this show how true professionals can put together a storyline and timeline. Kathleen Kennedy and JJ are not professionals. They are not. The Shield. No. You brought up The Shield. I haven't thought about it in a long time. One of the most well put together shows of all time. I like that. So when I first saw it, Doomcock, I hadn't seen it when it originally premiered, but it was airing in the UK when I went to the UK for the first time. Just got to my hotel room, was ready to go out, and I was just killing some time waiting for Mr. Nerdrotic to shower. So I just turned on the telly and I saw the first episode of The Shield, and they did like 3 episodes in a row. And I'm like, no, we're not leaving until I watch the rest of this. This is so good. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it's so good.
God,
it really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't seen it during its original run either. So, I mean, I think I saw it on Netflix or something, and then I went out and or Prime. I think it was on Prime. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't think it
yeah.
is right now, but it was.
Yeah, that's man, such a great show.
It is.
Lonnie Holcomb for $5, 104% drop as of day 10. It's only pulling 29% of its first day, and it's fading 10 to 18, or 10 to 18% a day over day. See Box Office Mojo. Yeah,
Wow, really?
yeah, it's the bottom's gonna fall out after this week. I mean, that's just it. It's basically it's gonna perform like a YouTube video. It's gonna do really good the first couple days, and just drop like a rock the rest of them. Yeah. So,
well, I mean, maybe there is some sanity out there. That would be kind of nice.
it would be nice. I get, and that that's the part that bugs me is, and that's just life. You can always relate. There's a lot of bad pop music out there. That gets sold based on poor taste. It's just you want more from your cinema. You definitely want more from Star Wars, and our expectations have been lowered so much with Star Wars. Now they're trying to spin a movie that's gonna probably be like comparatively one of the worst performing major trilogy movies. If you think about it, if you adjust for inflation and everything, it's going to be and it's a dud. It's a dud. This is the last time you're ever going to see Luke Skywalker and Leia and Han, and they were all ghosts, literally.
Yeah. Or CGI flashbacks.
Yeah.
Rumors.
Those Leia scenes were terrible.
They were. It was like this weird, I mean, they cut it in fairly seamlessly, but she's not saying anything of substance ever. And it's just, I don't know. It really is. It's kind of creepy.
It's creepy and tasteless, especially the way they she OD'd on the Force, and I talked about it, and she OD'd in real life.
Yeah.
Pretty tasteless. The Fandom Menace channel. What's up, my friend? Thank you for everything you do. We will live stream soon. First of the year, hit me up. I will go on your channel. We will hang. We will talk for hours. I owe you that. Thank you for the $2. He says he's 250 away from 3,000. Congratulations. So if you go to the Fandom Menace channel, if one of my Nerdrotics could please put his link in the channel, please, or in the chat, good luck. Also, don't forget to subscribe to Doomcock and all of our friends in and around the Fandom Menace. Doomcock's link is in the description, and the Nerdrotics have been putting it in the chat. Thank you very much for doing that. I appreciate all of what you guys do.
Thank you, guys.
Joe of all trades for $10. Greetings, Nerdrotic and Doomcock, at our local Hallmark today. And noticed most ornaments were sold out usually, except Discovery. What? Only 2 boxes missing from the shelf. I can email you a couple of photos. Please do.
Oh, yeah.
That's hilarious.
I saw that on Twitter. Actually, there was a whole, and they were being discounted like 50% or something like that. And just like a wall of them of Saru and Mikey Spock. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody wanted it. I love it.
Please, send us both pictures. At Doomcock, at Nerdrotics. It's a long story why it's plural. Cardinal Sin for $5. Hail, Nerdrotic and Doomcock. As a longtime Star Wars fan, Whovian and Trekker, it breaks my heart that this identity of politics agenda, ... $5 more from Cardinal Sin. Thank you. ... has been shoved down the throats of these timelines of these timeless beloved franchises that I have to turn off probably forever.
Mm-hmm. Well, they've made it easy though. I mean, they've basically ruined it, so it's not like you're missing out on anything.
No. It's the what could have been. Cardinal Sin, you're right. I mean, they didn't need to go down this route. You know what? They probably could have gotten their message across if they were a little more subtle about it and a little more caring. All this bullshit about empathy and kindness only goes so far until they start seeing the boogeyman to the right of them all the time. I mean, it's dangerous, and that's the thing I pointed out. And again, I'll repeat what I said earlier and echo what Doomcock said. I'm neither one. I don't get political on my channel. I don't get political on Twitter. Neither does Doomcock. We just want to enjoy entertainment free of bias like that.
Yes.
Yes. And they try to lump us in, and that's where I really know. I mean, I'm never convinced I'm right, but I know we're on the right side because Doomcock and I don't talk about that stuff, and then they have to lie about us and then write hit pieces that are just, that are fiction,
complete fiction.
Yep.
And reveal them to be liars.
Yep.
Because they're lying about us.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly your point from earlier.
Yep.
But I think, at least for the people who are accusing us of lying, you might have to speak a little slower because I don't think they understand it. I really. Oberon for 50 Danish krona. Love your avatar, by the way. Aang avatar, cool cartoon. So Luke wants to murder Kylo because of a bad vision, but lets Palpatine's daughter zip around the universe and poop on his legacy. F you. JJ Crapleen Kennedy. Oh, Crapleen Kennedy.
Crapleen Kennedy. That's perfect.
Crapleen Kennedy. Oh, Oberon. Well done. Crapleen Kennedy. You win. How could I have not? It's like right there in front of me, and I haven't heard that.
Crapleen Kennedy. It's just, we haven't even. Yes.
Oh, God damn.
How sad.
Well played. Criminal imagination for 10 Canadian pesos. Did you hear that we as men are to blame for Little Women bombing? I never saw the original, and I don't really plan to, but at least I know the original exists. There was a Little Women bombing.
I didn't know there were
movie
women out there.
Yeah. Well, of course we're to blame. I mean, we're supposed to go see that stuff now because there's no differences between boys and girls. So we're all supposed to like rom-coms now. And no.
I think it's probably marketing. I mean, they should have called it, Big Women.
Yeah.
Preferably like 36 C's or
yeah.
Big Women. That's what they should have called it. Then maybe we would have gone.
Feels well. It depends on what kind of movie it was. I mean, it depends on the rating, maybe I would have been more interested. Yeah, exactly. Some nobody for $2 will keep poking holes until they sink. Fistney. #Fistney. Yep. That death by 1,000 paper cuts is starting to happen. And again, to the spinners out there who are going to say that this thing made money but it made less money than it could have. A lot less. We are seeing diminishing returns. And this was the last card you can play. This is the last nostalgia card you can play unless you straight up resurrect somebody. And going back into the past as a prequel just isn't going to have the same impact. You had the original 3 going forward in a new trilogy, and you based it on a lie. You let everybody believe you were going to put Han, Luke, and Leia into a film together, and you led all of us on as fans when you deliberately spread them out over 3 movies. That's a lie. That's basing your entire Disney trilogy on a fucking lie. I mean, I don't think there's a person alive who didn't think that they were going to put 3 of them together, at least for a moment on the screen. I think people were expecting a lot more.
I mean, what filmmaker in their right mind wouldn't do that? And would actually make it impossible by killing them. I mean, come on. That is, they just refuse to do the most obvious, and needed things in these movies. That because I don't know, other than the fact that they have this political agenda, I don't know, they want to think of themselves as some kind of artistes or something. That they're making Bergman films instead of Star Wars movies. That they're going to foil our bourgeois expectations and pioneer a new wave of cinema, like Truffaut in France. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think all of it is true. I think There'll be books written. I think Kathleen Kennedy was in the shadow of a lot of men and she wanted to make a creative stamp. I think Bob Iger himself was a little jealous. I think these people have huge egos, so they start competing with each other. And again, this is just my speculation, but Bob Iger seems to lust after having a legacy, a creative legacy. And think about it. This is an empty suit, empty-headed weatherman who became a CEO of a creative company. He's the boss. But the one thing everybody has on him, on his company, is creativity. And the guy's not an artist. So he wants to have some sort of artistic legacy. So he fucking starts writing notes for Star Wars. And Kathleen Kennedy starts making creative decisions when she couldn't even make a creative decision to put like 2 or 3 sugars in Spielberg's coffee. So yeah, I think a lot of that plays into this. A lot of the fuck ups from Hollywood are from ego and narcissism. I mean, that's it. And then there's the political agenda, of course, that was put in from Kathleen Kennedy, growing up in Berkeley. And it fucked everything up. You fucked up it wasn't that hard. They're like, it's really hard to say. No, it wasn't, assholes. You put Han, Luke, and Leia together in a movie doing heroic shit. Luke using the Force, Han Solo firing his blaster, telling Chewie to punch it, Leia telling Han to shut up. I mean, it's that simple. I could have written a Star Wars movie that made $2 billion.
Yeah. Well, the problem is they're acting like they can't do both.
Yep.
And if you can't do both, if you can't both have the familiar actual Star Wars that people want, and then find simultaneously a respectful, innovative way to make it fresh. If you can only do one or the other of those things, if you can't do both those things, then why the hell do you think you deserve to make all that money? Yep. You're incompetent.
Yep.
You're incompetent. So you basically can't do your job. You're incompetent to do your job. You cannot both make Star Wars and find some new spin on it to make it fresh. You can't do it. So you're a hack. So you don't deserve to be doing what you're doing. You are not a professional. You suck at your job. That's the problem. That's the problem. You have to be able to do both. Both. I mean,
bottom line.
Bottom line. Any fan, like you said, can go ahead and put Han, Leia together and have, pew pew and punch it. And I've got a bad feeling about this and all that shit. Well, that would be better probably than what they did, but it's still hack shit. But if you can go ahead like Timothy Zahn did with the Thrawn trilogy and go ahead and take the story in new directions, but still make it true to itself, then you deserve to be working in Hollywood.
Yep.
But nobody really does these days because talent is a secondary or tertiary consideration. The main consideration is, will they do what they say, what we tell them to do? Are they related to us? Did they go to our school, or are they our nephew? Are they our godson in the case of Spielberg and Jar Jar Abrams? Nepotism, cronyism, corruption at the most fundamental creative level, when the people who deserve to be there are not there because their jobs were taken by hacks like Abrams.
I totally agree. There's 100 directors better than Jar Jar Abrams who can make better blockbuster films. Jar Jar does not have talent. He's not a talented filmmaker, period. He does not deserve $500 million. He got it. That's great. Warner Brothers is stupid for paying him that much. That would much be better spent feeding starving kids or something. But not giving it to Jar Jar to go repurpose something else and destroy another franchise, which he is most certainly going to do to DC. So don't hold out any hope, fan. Just pray for that Snyder cut, because that's probably the best thing you're going to get out of Warner Brothers if Jar Jar's in charge.
Well, I don't know, man. If I have anything to say about it, they're going to release that George Lucas cut. I'm going to be on their ass about that. I'm
with you, brother.
Gathering more information, and it's out there. I believe it's out there. I don't have proof yet, but I believe it's out there, and I'm on it.
Well, I could certainly see this. What was the not getting a good cinema score from the test screening fans? I could see that happening with this film that came out. So didn't get one for me. That's for sure. Raymond K. Hessel for $2. When's the next Exozone? Whatever happened to Dennis? The next Exozone will probably be next year. I've been meaning to talk to you about this. Did you see that Tyler video that came out?
No, I heard something. I haven't really, honestly. I've just been so busy with holiday. I mean, what happened?
Tyler got arrested for drunk driving and beating his wife, but his wife is denying it. He's saying he got set up, and he's got his wife out there saying he denied it, that it didn't happen. So he came on his channel and said he's being set up. He looked upset. I don't know what to think. I don't know the details. Somebody spread out all his personal information on Twitter, which sucks. I don't know if he really did that. I guess he could have. I don't know. All I know is the ufology is falling apart. It's fucking falling apart. We got people, getting. It's because there's too much money involved now, and it turned into a business. And now, when things start fading, they start turning on each other. And it's so we might be the only ones talking about that shit. So it might be a good time to start the Exozone. Because I don't have political agenda when it comes to talking about UFOs. I just want to talk about UFOs and Bigfoot.
Yeah, I don't that's wow.
No, there's factions. They're fighting each other, and it's fucking embarrassing. It's embarrassing, and it's not like the ufology community needs that. They already look woo-woo enough. They got enough people that make them look bad, and now they're looking worse. And I'm not saying Tyler's part of that. I don't know. I have no information. That's just a video he put on his channel.
Although it got yanked, didn't it?
Did it get yanked?
Well, I thought it got yanked. I mean, because somebody was saying on Twitter, I was trying to figure out, well, what is this video? What's going on? And I couldn't get to the bottom of it. So, I mean, I'm glad that you told me. I couldn't figure out.
I watched it the other day.
Arrested for drunk driving.
It's gone. Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah, that's what I was reading, and so I wasn't able to get to the bottom of it. And I kind of forgot about it.
So it was a phone video that he shot, and he looked visibly upset, and he said, I've been set up. I went to sleep one night, and I woke up in my car with a police officer in my face saying that I was drunk driving. He says, I only drink once a year. I don't do drugs. He said that people were passing around my mugshot on, I'd just been in jail for 10 days, and I just got out. God, they said I was beating my wife, and
which she denies.
And now the video's gone. So that does not look
damn.
Okay. Yeah, so do not believe everything you hear. I have been set up recently in an attempt to ruin my reputation. I will explain more in a coming video. This is an attack on truth seekers, but the video's gone. So I don't know. His lawyer probably told him to yank that.
Well, that's what it said. Something in the Twitter about his lawyer or something. I was looking at that, but I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. So
so that was the video. Yeah, I don't know exactly what's happening with that, but we'll talk about that more. But yeah, the Exo Doomcock and I have just Star Wars has taken over our lives. Period. And then we have also our personal stuff going on, and the holidays and family and stuff, and you've got robots to build. I mean, that doesn't take days off. Ruling,
no, but we'll be back this next year with it,
most definitely. And unlike Crapleen Kennedy, Doomcock has a plan to take over the earth. Okay, he's been planning it for a long time.
Not to flush it down the toilet like Crapleen is doing. So
you don't take over the earth by making it up as you go. It just doesn't work like that. I'm looking forward to being the emperor of San Francisco, though. I really
absolutely am. That you're secure on that. That is absolutely happening.
I want a throne of poop. I'm just kidding. So to whatever happened to Dennis? Dennis is an old co-host. Dennis left. That's what happened to Dennis. Right around when I hit 10,000 subs. Didn't see eye to eye on some stuff. We'll just say that. Sam Whiskey for $1.99. They fly now. They suck now. They suck now. Yes.
They suck now.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh, that's too funny.
I do. It's fun to do stuff with friends until business gets involved. And then goals have to match. And in all fairness to Dennis, I don't expect him to have the same motivation as I do or have the same goals as I do. But I had a goal for the channel. I had a vision, and he didn't. So that's it. I do believe he's got his own channel. So there you go. John Smallberries for $5. For the first time, my 12-year-old didn't ask for any Star Wars merch this Christmas. Wow.
Oh, see? See? I mean, I hear stuff like that all the time about kids and parents and teachers just saying that, man, you know, the kids are just not into it anymore. I mean, they're into things like, Marvel and stuff like that. Not Star Trek for sure. And damn not Star Wars.
It is kind of, that's that. I felt when I walked out of the Fall of Skywalker, right after thinking that all the Star Wars fans know what it's like to watch an episode of Star Trek Discovery, because that's what it was. It felt like an Alex Kurtzman episode of Star Trek Discovery, all the illogical bullshit. But I felt like bummed. I was just like, that's it. I mean, that was really it. It was it before, but this is really, really it. And it was sad. It was sad. But I mean, I'm okay. I mean, like I'll sleep at night and I can live without Star Wars. There's it's just sad that it's one of many. If it was just Star Wars getting fucked up, but Star Trek is fine and Doctor Who is fine, I'd really be okay. You don't expect them all to be great, but it's everything. That's the bummer part. Yeah. Legend Finder for $9.99. The Force Awakens deceived me into liking it for a short time. Oh, I read this one earlier, but I'll read it again. But The Last Jedi made me angry. The Rise of Skywalker made me laugh out loud because it was so bad. It's the worst trilogy of trilogies, and it really is, unless we're counting like Troll or something.
If there's two more sequels to The Room,
yeah, but at least those are charming. Exactly. Oh, hi, Mark. If I love that they filmed it in San Francisco and still use green screens for the building tops and stuff. That was hilarious. That flower shop that he went to was right down the street from where Melissa used to work. How is Disney fixing their financials, not fraud? Says some nobody for $2.
I have no idea.
It is.
It's a good question.
I think they just don't bother to investigate it. It is fraud to overship comic books and report those things as sales. So are the artists getting residuals off that? Because I hope they are. Are they willing to pay taxes? See, that's the thing. That's how sad the comic book industry is. They have to pad sales, which they risk. There's more financial risk involved in that as far as being taxed. And, but they do it anyway. I mean, it's a lie. That's a lie. It can be a nice lie, but it's still a lie. You know, we sold this many copies. The Star Wars comic, when Marvel got it back, 2015, it sold 1 million copies. It was the last comic to sell 1 million copies and the first one in a long time to do so. It only sold 1 million copies because they added a bunch to the loot crate. They counted those as sales.
Huh. Oh man. It's just so much phoniness. God.
Yeah.
That's awful.
And it's not the 80s and the 90s. You can't get away with this shit now. We're talking to each other all the time, looking for this shit.
Yep.
Joel Tumburo for $10. R.E. Captain Marvel. Brie Larson was on the premiere of Running Wild with Bear Grylls, one of the more unwoke shows out there. Maybe her agents realize she has a major public image problem. Joel, yeah, they had her hosting a show, and yeah, they do realize that, and I think they are absolutely in damage control, fixing her image.
Yeah, maybe so. But I mean, is just showing cleavage going to do it? Maybe
No.
she needs to apologize for all the nasty things she said. Attacking white males and all the politicized crap that she's thrown out there.
I don't think she'll be able to shut up. I don't think she's. I
No.
think she'll try, and then she just won't. I agree with you.
Yep. I think you're absolutely correct.
She might have all the best intentions of the world, but she is still Brie Larson.
Yep.
Sam Whiskey for $4.99. Crapleen Kennedy and her husband have been given the green light to produce the new Indiana Jones movie.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Great. Well, that's just going to be wonderful. That right there. That's just what we want to hear. Great. Absolutely. It's going to just ruin that now. Fabulous.
Yep. I have a prediction.
What?
That they might try to extend that de-aging technology and maybe shoot an entire movie with a de-aged Harrison Ford for an Indiana Jones film.
I think that would take. I don't think there's enough computers in the world to de-wrinkle that guy for more than 30 seconds. I mean, come on.
That would take like all the server farms. Yeah. They're going to do it someday. They're going to de-age an actor. Well, shit, they did The Irishman. They did that for a little while. I mean, it wasn't the entire movie, but it was for long periods of time.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a difference between wrinkles and chasms. I mean,
this is true.
The guy, come on.
No, I'm not saying it's going to be good. I'll say they'll try it.
Yeah.
I mean, what else are you going to have? Harrison Ford is almost 80.
Right.
He's almost fucking 80. So how bad has it gotten? I'm sorry, folks. I love both of these guys, Patrick Stewart and Harrison Ford. But I mean, your leading man is 79 years old.
Wow.
You can't hide that. You're a little slower at that age. I mean, he looks fantastic. God, I hope I'm that healthy at that age. But
sure,
still. God, Ian McKellen and Cats.
But Harrison Ford looks particularly rough. I mean, he does. And I just, it's not a question of just smoothing him out. I don't think, I mean, they might have a flashback sequence or something, but I mean, a whole movie? I don't know. I don't think it's possible.
That's the only thing I was trying to figure out a way I would want to watch it because I don't want to see an old Harrison Ford being led around by a young woman, because that's going to happen.
Oh,
like
yeah, that's
Marion's
right.
daughter or something.
It'll be and we'll take over for him. Take his hat, take his whip, save him. When he gets kidnapped by wheezing old Nazis and strollers and wheelchairs. It's gonna be bad.
Oh, I heard it was supposed to be a daughter in Crystal Skull, and Spielberg shot that down.
Good.
Dwayne Morris for $5. The TV news station gave a free sunrise showing of Star Wars last week, open to the public. They probably counted all of those as sales.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Matthew Warney, thank you for the $5, Dwayne. And yeah, I heard there was a grocery store. Somebody emailed me. There was a grocery store chain giving away tickets if you brought in food for a screening. Probably counted all that, which is great, but they counted it as sales. Matthew Warney for $5. Twilight, still a better love story than The Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I did see it, and I just blocked it out of my mind for self-preservation. Jay Terry for $2. Nothing to say about movie. $2 just to see, just for just you two. Why, thank you. My brain wasn't computing there for a moment. Jim Mold for $10. Hail Gary and Doomcock. You guys check out The Witcher yet? The 3 timelines kind of threw me at first, but all in all, I loved it. I had to get used to it. I did. I was a little confused after the first episode, but I ended up liking it quite a bit. And Doomcock, have you seen it yet?
No, I have not.
Okay. He's been very busy. You've been very busy, so I know you've had a lot of stuff going on. But I mean, you'll eventually see it. So,
oh yeah, I'm gonna watch it. I've said I would watch it. I just haven't had a chance yet.
Yeah, I liked it. The Dr. 14 Blu-ray reviews for £5. I am glad that the Fandom Menace did not watch Gavin and Stacey. It is too good for you. It was watched by 11 million people on BBC One. Dr. 14 Blu-ray reviews always puts in the weirdest super chats, but he's always here. I adore him. So thank you for the £5. I'm glad the Fandom Menace didn't see Gavin and Stacey either. I don't know what it is. Is it a show? Is it now I've got to look it up. Gavin and Stacey. It is too good for the Fandom Menace.
I don't know a thing about that.
Gavin and Stacey
doesn't sound like the kind of thing I follow, you know.
It's an older show, and it's got what's his name, who was in Doctor Who, and then he's got a talk show now, and he does the singing in the car. I forgot his name now. I don't watch late night talk shows, but
yeah, I don't either. There isn't really anything worth watching these days. I mean,
no.
God, I was shocked to even see the other day. I saw Conan for the first time in a long time, and it's just awful. I mean, he's been pared back to 30 minutes or something.
Yep.
And his set, I mean, it's basically he doesn't even have a desk anymore. I don't know.
Oh, really? Oh my God. So he's probably not coming back to Comic-Con then.
I doubt it. He doesn't have a desk. It's like 3 chairs. And the beautiful set that he had is gone.
Wow,
just
really?
Just curtains. I mean, oh yeah, and it was just 30 minutes, and I couldn't believe it. I'm like, Jesus, this poor bastard. He was the best one of the late night talk show hosts left after Craig Ferguson quit. It's a shame.
No, I agree. I think I loved Conan O'Brien. I think he should have gotten the spot, but I mean, late night talk show is terrible now. And that's what we're competing against. You and I are competing against those blowhards getting priority here on this platform now. I would never watch that stuff. I find it vapid and boring and
predictable.
But yeah, horribly predictable. It's like Orange Man, blur. Okay, fucking beef. It's just terrible. So yes, this is Craig. I forgot. I don't know the actor's name, but it's Craig from Doctor Who. So I liked him in Doctor Who, but I really am annoyed by him now. So, but the Fandom Menace, I'm sure if you dare the Fandom Menace to do something, they probably will do it. Dr. 14 Blu-ray reviews, but I don't think they'll watch Gavin and Stacey. Hail. What? Yeah. That's such a random comment. TM Martin. What's up, TM Martin, for $2? Hail, Gary and Doomcock. What say you on Lost in Space?
I didn't like Lost in Space. I mean, I watched the first maybe 3 episodes of season 1, and you had it was just so dumb. I mean, yeah, everybody, you have these, kids that were selected for this Jupiter 2 mission, to Alpha Centauri because of, dire Earth overpopulation. And here they are, running rogue, not following orders, putting the family in jeopardy time and time again. They would have definitely not risked a whole mission on a family with a bunch of fuck ups for kids. And, the fact that they just are there, it's just like, they're just like kids, and they're going to be like, oh, I'm scared. I'm panicking in this life or death situation. Well, then you probably should have been an astronaut on this dangerous mission. So I just, there was so much about it that was to me just full of plot holes, and I just stopped watching it, so I don't have any real opinion other than that. How about you?
I feel the same way. I watched it all the way through, and it's supposed to, Lost in Space is supposed to be fun family thing, and they did the typical, mom and dad aren't talking, dad's very apologetic to mom,
Right.
mom's powerful and amazing scientist, and it was just like so fucking
She was stunning and brave, though. I will
stunning
give her,
and brave.
I'll give her that. But
Yep.
yeah, just more woke crap.
Yep.
I mean, they even had was it Judy? Was a black woman in a family. It's supposed to be the Swiss Family, Robinson in space, and yeah, it just had to squeeze that wokeness in, even in a family.
Yep.
It's like, okay,
Parker
great.
Posey
Was it Dr. Smith?
Dr. Smith,
A female Dr. Smith. Yeah, fuck off. So yeah, I have no intention of watching season 2 of that.
Yeah. So yeah, I felt the same way. And I asked Mrs. Nerdrotic if she wanted to try it. We're like, nah, we'll watch The Witcher again. Some Nobody for $2. Horrific moment, but thank you, TM Martin. Horrific moment that the people of Tulsa were over. That Some Nobody for $2. I can't speak for Tulsa, but maybe you're from Tulsa and no. Yeah, they tried to. It was nonsensical. I can buy anything, and you've said this before. If it's good art, if they create good art, a great story wrapped around some event, if I buy into it, sure. But there was no opportunity to buy into the story because there wasn't a story here. It was propaganda. That's all it was. Michael Maloney for $10. Newsflash: the actor who played Kylo is an ex-Marine. He must be under a gag order. Yes, he is an ex-Marine. That is true.
Wow.
Thank you, Michael Maloney. I thank him for his service.
A gag order, huh? What, an order to make us gag as Kylo Ren?
Yeah, maybe. Adam Driver, I mean, aside from kind of looking like John Travolta, like, what's going on around here? It's like so weird being on the dark side of the Force. Mr. Carter.
Yeah.
I think he's an okay actor.
Yeah, he's fine. I mean, he's actually not bad. It's the role.
Yeah,
it's the role.
I think he did his best in that movie. I don't think there was anything he could have done to make it better. I just jumped on me, man. Oh, brother.
Oh, that happens.
And yeah, we're gonna be on a time limit tonight, unfortunately, too, because you got a lot to do. Yeah, I've got a ton to do, but I'll probably do my square up right around the time you do in a couple days. I'll do mine on New Year's Day. How's that sound? Because I think Mel's doing something that day, so I think
that'll work
in the morning. Yeah, we can do it New Year's Day. And you know what? I'll coincide it with my awards. I was going to do my I do the Rorys, which is Douglas Adams. If you read Hitchhiker's Guide, in later books, there's an award called the Rory that gets passed out to the best usage of the word fuck in a serious screenplay. It's called a Rory. So I name my positive rewards after the Douglas Adams Memorial Rorys, and I give my best TV show, best performance. And then, of course, I do the Uranus Awards, which, is the worst of everything. Most woke moment, or best strong female, best, most stunning and brave moment, stuff like that. So I'll coincide it with that.
That sounds good.
Yeah, because we're like really far behind. But Star Trek Picard, Doomcock. It looks like I guess they announced a season 2, and I had heard there was going to be a season 3. Like they're going to film them possibly back to back. So maybe they shit can that now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I never believed that personally. I never.
That's what I heard. I heard it was up to Patrick. but maybe they changed their mind. We have the regime change going on right now. We know through your reporting, my reporting, Midnight's Edge reporting, Alex Kurtzman is a Les Moonves guy.
Yep. That's
So
right.
I mean, I think they're probably at a wait and see, and this is just my speculation, at a wait and see with this Picard. Picard better pick up a hell of a lot of subs for CBS All Access, and I don't think it's gonna. I just don't. Star Trek's a tough sell for the general audience anyway, and when you make schlock, I think you had a really bad lead in with Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
Well, yeah. You have not expanded the audience. You've contracted it. You've driven away the people that actually love your damn show. And the woke hordes didn't show up like you hoped they would, which is, surprise, surprise. They don't actually, put their money where their mouths are. They make a lot of noise about supporting your woke agenda, but they don't actually do it when the time comes. So, yeah, I think you're right. I think they're hosed, just straight up hosed. I think that this thing is not going to go a second season, and I would be surprised if they didn't just can the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been announced. I don't know if they're going to start filming, and I think they're probably going to wait until the response comes in. I mean, I've heard from my insider, but I've heard nothing else other than we've seen we lost a showrunner. I don't know who they're going to replace. I guess they have to announce another showrunner soon, Doomcock.
Right.
You think they'll announce
they are indeed actually going to do another season?
Yeah. So is Alex Kurtzman going to be the showrunner again?
I would predict no on that. My prediction would be no. I don't think so. And
if this is only going to be, I mean, like, nobody thinks Picard is going to go 10 seasons. Okay. So let's just say, I don't know what the hell they're going to do. They're going to bring in a new showrunner for season 2. It's going to be a completely different show. It'll be, a different shade of brown from Alex Kurtzman, but it's such a mess. And, there's a lot of similarities, Doomcock, between Alex Kurtzman's regime and Crapling Kennedy's. Mm-hmm. Just a lot of similarities, man.
Mm-hmm. Oh, eerie. Yeah. I mean, here are people who are indifferent to, or actually actively hostile to the franchise that they are getting control of. And they decide that they are going to fix it because they don't like it much. And what happens is they wind up killing it. It's that simple. They're in their ignorance or their stupidity or their hatred. I mean, it can vary. I can't speak to what's in Crapling Kennedy's heart, but it sure isn't love of Star Wars. I can tell you that.
That's a fact.
Yep.
That is a fact.
Certainly not the Star Wars. We as Star Wars,
and we're left with nothing. And we're the ones who, I mean, all of us here were the ones who carried this through the decades, paid it the respect it deserved. All we asked for, I mean, they didn't even try. The thing is, they tried to fit in what they wanted it to be, instead of letting it be what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hail, Gary. Didn't you say almost a year ago that Doctor Who was made critic proof and that it was the true beginning of woke TV? Hashtag Nerdrotic was right. Why, thank you, Lady Gravemaster, for $5. I said it was made critic proof, and I think the wokeness is what makes it critic proof. So if they remove that, it will no longer be critic proof. But it already isn't, because Doomcock and I are here. But thank you, Lady Gravemaster.
Exactly. It didn't work.
It didn't work. But people were scared to death, and you know this, and people were scared to death to criticize the Rosa episode, like scared to death. And when Bulls Trek and I and others did it, we got a lot of shit. We got a lot of shit. But thankfully, Arachnids in the UK came out right after that, and that's when a bunch of people jumped off the show and got pissed. And it changed things. I spoke about it. I was on a Creature Features. It premiered last night. If you go to the Creature Features YouTube, I was interviewed here on a local Bay Area TV station, and I talked about Doomcock and the Phantom Menace and Doctor Who and everything. Go check it out. The movie's pretty bad, but it's not as bad as the other one I did. So, but hey, I was on a local San Francisco Bay Area television station talking about the Phantom Menace with a host who is sympathetic to the Phantom Menace. I'll just say that. There you go.
Outstanding.
Yes. Vince Van Dahl, freaking awesome guy, by the way. TFM. Thanks, buddy, by the way. Yeah, he watches. Cracklin for $5. Star Wars has crappy character continuity. Prequel Anakin is not James Earl Jones Darth Vader, and The Last Jedi Luke is not Luke Skywalker. No, they're not. I mean, it does. But Disney really thought they could do better than the prequels, and they started out The Force Awakens by the first words spoken are this should begin to make things right. Well, that didn't pan out so well for him, did it?
No, it really didn't. Wasn't prophetic.
Nope. TM Martin for $5. Doomcock, should there be a Soylent Green remake? Who should direct and star?
I just don't think there should be. I don't think there should be a Soylent Green remake. I think Soylent Green is perfect as it is. You know? I mean, how are you going to recast Charlton Heston? And how do you have that iconic moment at the end? Have any actor, deliver it with Heston's intensity? You know, I mean, it would have to be almost like a parody. You know, I mean, Shatner in his prime, going back in time, maybe could have done that, but in general, just a bad idea, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean. That's a good question, TM Martin, and thank you for the $5. You'd have to match up like the closest thing to a modern Charlton Heston. There really isn't one, but it'd have to be like an aging action star like Bruce Willis or something like that. But the thing is, the hook with that movie was his performance and what happened at the end, and you know that now, so it'd be tough. It would be tough,
right? Yeah, you would lose the element of surprise, and it yeah.
But a good question.
It is.
Who would, I don't know. I think Matthew Vaughn can direct anything, in my opinion. But the Kelvington for $10. I love supporting great content. Cheers. I appreciate that. The Kelvington. I appreciate you considering us great content. I like to think so, but I might be a little biased.
Absolutely. Hail to the Kelvington, and thank you, my friend. Always good to see you.
Cheers. HF Swiffle for $4.99. Anyone else notice Jar Jar basically copied Rose's line from the end of Titanic? Name Dawson, Rose Dawson.
Yeah, that's very true.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's true.
Hell, let's name her Rose Skywalker.
Sure, why not? And then you basically have her watching Kylo sink under the waves.
Oh, yeah.
Under the wave of death. Oh
my God, I didn't even think about that. Oh,
yeah.
Shit.
So it's Titanic.
So they copied Harry Potter, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Titanic.
Sure.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Alan Walker for $1.99. A lot of aunt/nephew romances lately. There really is. It's like a throwback to the 1800s or something going on here.
I know.
Just my cousin. We're not directly related.
I don't want it.
I don't want it.
McQueen.
Ralph Wiggum for Australian $5. She identifies as a Skywalker. According to the left, genetics don't matter. And yep, that was the whole purpose of that. That was the message. Luke Skywalker was talking to her about a family. It's not just blood. There's something more. There's things more important than blood. You can identify however you want. That is an anti-family message from the very family-friendly Disney. They're going to listen. Disney's going to have problems in the very near future. And so is Hollywood with their politics, with the way they see things, because it's going to start contradicting some of their allies, and it's going to start pissing off a country that they're relying on, that Star Wars doesn't do very well in, by the way.
Oh
And
dear, oh dear,
yeah,
oh dear.
and they already got caught cutting out the consensual kiss between two women adults to satisfy backwards Singapore and the United Arab Emirates, because those things are against the law, but they're perfectly okay with selling their products over there, supporting those laws, by the way.
Absolutely. Well, look, I mean, they're not going to allow wokeness to interfere in, their profits overseas. So, they think that they can go ahead and cut that stuff and overseas, and no one over here will really notice. They even took off Finn off of a poster overseas because of prejudice against people of color. So that's
true.
That's their commitment to Finn.
Yep.
How about that?
Yeah, only matters till and listen,
phony. They're just so phony. They're not trying to change anything. They're just a bunch of lying hypocrites.
Exactly. And that's all we've been doing, is pointing that out. And when we did that, and that's part of the whole information war thing. You accuse your enemy of what you are doing.
Yeah.
Larry for $2 wants you and I to debate Anti-Trekker because he liked the Rise of Skywalker. I mean,
I wouldn't want to be mean to Anti-Trekker,
I got questions for Anti-Trekker. I do. I don't want to be mean to him either, but
I don't want to be mean to Anti-Trekker.
How can you complain about Star Trek Discovery and like the Rise of Skywalker? I don't
know.
I don't.
I mean, what is there to like? Honestly, what the fuck is there to like? And I like Anti-Trekker, and I wouldn't want to insult him, but I mean, I get kind of strident on this stuff, just making my points. And I wouldn't want to seem disrespectful or hurtful, but it's not really an argument I'm prepared to lose. I mean, you can say all sorts of stuff. I guess maybe his defense of it would be something along the lines of explaining away some plot problems, or I don't know, trying to cover up stuff with, but they're a dyad, so of course you can do all this stuff. And it's like the larger point of it is that it's disrespectful to the original trilogy. No matter what you say, I don't care what you say. You bring back Palpatine, that's it. So that sucks. That's just right there, the kiss of death. Doesn't matter really about this dyad crap. It's not entertaining. It's dumb. I mean, this idea of this force buried all of those ships, those massive ships underwater or under the ice. Come on. And why the hell did he announce himself out of nowhere? Where did he come from? How did he live? I mean, you just can't defend this shit. And if you try, it's just gonna make you look bad,
Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah,
I would feel bad. I understand he has that view, and I respect it. Fine. But, I don't want to, rub it in, or.
I don't either. But like, I'm with you. It's not, I love Anti-Trekker unconditionally. Yeah. I've always said that. And my opinion, even if we had a knockdown, drag out debate, my opinion would not change as long as it didn't change on me. But I am with Doomcock. That's not what, listen, I can't lose that debate. I've won this debate before it even starts.
Yes.
Because Anti-Trekker is going to have to backpedal and explain away plot holes the size of a singularity in the middle of our galaxy. I mean, they're huge.
Yeah.
What Doomcock just stated right there does not get explained in the film. So you can't bring in comics, you can't bring in books. You got to tell me how it gets explained in the film. And then we start getting into subjectivity. Okay. So you might say they explain something word for word in this. That doesn't mean I buy it. just because they explained it in the movie and it sounds like it makes sense. I personally didn't buy that explanation.
Right.
Now, I'm just using that as an example. I can't think of something that would make sense, like the Falcon landing exactly where it's supposed to, and then that map lining up without even thinking about the scale that you brought up.
Right. Or this stupid force skipping shit.
Yeah.
Like you can just wink in and out without what did Han say? Traveling through hyperspace ain't like dusting crops, boy. Without a precise calculation, you'd fly too close to a star, bounce too close to a supernova, that'd end your trip real quick, wouldn't it? Precise calculations. You cannot simply jump into hyperspace and then jump into hyperspace and jump into hyperspace. And how the hell are they tracking you anyway? Without a tracker, you can't track anybody through hyperspace. So one jump would be sufficient. But no, we had to go ahead and have this silly ass bullshit like, oh, they jumped into some kind of asteroid field. Oh, they jumped into some kind of weird space that's like a series of pylons. Whoa, they jumped into a city. Hyperspace jumped into the middle of a city. Come on. You know, it's just so stupid. It's just the mindless, idiotic ramblings of a guy who you know, can't fucking write to save his life and just wanted artificial excitement at that juncture.
Yep. And I would point out that Anti-Trekker had a meltdown in the final episode of Star Trek Discovery Season 2, as he should have, because Pike was behind a door where a torpedo went off and killed Admiral Cornhole and blew out the front half of the ship, but didn't kill Pike behind a freaking door.
Right.
I included it in my review video. So the man who argued against that is now okay with everything in the Rise of Skywalker?
Yeah.
Anti-Trekker. I love you. It's not consistent.
Yes, we love you, but I don't want to have to, you know, be a dick or anything. I mean, you know.
Yeah. But I mean, like, it's in your name.
I know, but not to Anti-Trekker.
No, I don't. I love him, man. He's a genuinely nice guy.
He is. He's a great guy.
Yep.
He's on our side, and
yep.
It's like, well, I mean, I can accept that he likes it. It's like, okay, but I think it's best not, you know, best not to talk. It's like certain things you shouldn't talk about over Thanksgiving dinner with Mima, who wants to, you know, rant about certain ethnic groups or, you know, sexual orientations. It's just rather, you know, distasteful. So you
exactly
talk about these things with Mima, you know, with family that you love.
So
that's kind of how I feel.
It probably goes. I agree, and it gets into subjectivity, and he's got his own reasons for liking it. And listen, you can't talk somebody out of liking something they like. Period. Eclectic Tyrone gives $2 and but no statement. Thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate it. We're going to do a couple more, and then we're going to have to call it a night. Unfortunately, we're going to end with Larry. TM Martin for $5. Would Jodie Comer of Killing Eve, Ray's Ma, have made a better Ray? And would Matt Smith have made Rise of Skywalker a better movie if he played like a younger Sheev Palpatine? The plot, I would have bought it more if it was a clone. If it was just a clone, that would have been at least an explanation. I don't think I still would have. I don't like the Emperor coming back at all.
No,
that would have been
utterly fucked up. It's ruined.
But I don't think the TM Martin. I think Jodie Comer is a better actress for sure. But as Ray's Ma, I don't know. I don't think so. I think the overall plot that they had in The Fall of Skywalker could have worked if spread over 3 movies, fleshed out by much more talented screenwriters and directors. I think there was a concept in there that might have worked, except don't use Emperor Palpatine, do Mortis or something like that. If you want to do like his like a descendant, fine, okay. Wants to pick up where Dad left off, or or better yet, just adapt the EU stuff. I think it could have been better. There's no saving this. There was no. I mean, the fandom menace was right about Rise of Skywalker. It was going to be a total disaster. Everybody said it. Doomcock said it. Everybody said it. And it's because we have common sense. We can see what's going on. There was no way to save it. Rian Johnson derailed the trilogy. Jar Jar Abrams, though, laid down that foundation of sand, which that's what it was. Ian Aldridge is a member at the proto-molecule level. Welcome. And the work must go on. The work must go on. So final super chat. And believe me, folks, I'm only at 7:37 p.m. So that was 2 hours ago. I'm sorry. But I've got 4 videos to put out in 2 days. I want to get them out by the end of the year. And it's a Mandalorian review, and they're all reviews, by the way, actual reviews, which are nice to do. But it's Mandalorian, Witcher, and a couple of other surprises. Larry for $2. Gary, saw you on Creature Features. Well done. Why, thank you. I felt way more comfortable this time around. It's weird being on television. I love that set, and I love Vince and Tangela, and yeah, it was cool. It was cool. It was fun. Yeah, check it out. I'll link it in the description. Of course, this will be on Nerdrotic Live when it is done. I will do a super chat square up starting with Sam Whiskey and his $4.99 super chat on New Year's Day. And Doomcock, thank you again for joining me on an Inquisition here. And the last one of the year.
Yes.
This show was a great idea of yours, and I love it. I love doing it, and I look forward to many more next year.
I am absolutely thrilled to be doing this with you, brother. It's a lot of fun. It just anchors the week, and people love it. And I cannot thank you enough for doing this with me, and just being my friend. And I cannot wait for 2020. I think you and I are going to do great things this coming year. Absolutely. No doubt about it in my mind.
I think so too. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm so freaking excited. This isn't work. I'm having a ton of fun. It's not fun, watching fans get attacked and people get upset and divided fan bases. And I hope there's a day that ends. I really do. I want it, but I don't want it to end with surrender or throwing your hands up in the air and just giving up. But if somebody wants to do that, I get it. I get if you don't want to be in the fight, but I don't know. When I get into a fight, I get into the fight to the end.
Yeah.
And I want it to be as clean as possible, at least from our side. And again, we're not an organization. We are into Doomcock as an individual channel who, just so happens to like the hashtag fandom menace, and so do I. But I also like Solo Lost Money, and I also like Doomcock was right. Those are hashtags I like as well. So here's to getting some better entertainment in 2020. Okay. Let's get the identity politics out of there, and then we can just debate on whether something's good or not. And
that would be such a wonderful thing, to just be able to review things in good faith that they actually tried to make it good. And I don't have that good faith anymore.
No,
I don't have it. I don't believe that these people are trying to make this stuff good.
No,
I no longer assume good faith and failure. I assume bad faith and success, that they succeeded at doing whatever horrible thing that they wanted to do. And that's sad.
it is. But what they picked this up from is sports ball. Sports ball is all based on loyalty. And hey, I used to love sports ball. But fans get season tickets, and they're hard to get, and they don't want to give them up. But that also lets the team suck for a long time and not really try that hard, because they have that guaranteed money. And believe me, I'm a student in this, being an ex-Charger fan from San Diego who sucked more than the Cleveland Browns did in a lot of ways. And the same thing is happening here, and it's a disrespect to the fan base. What Doomcock just said, when they don't try to make something good, they just want to fill it with agenda. It says Star Wars. These idiots will buy it. And then people go out and buy it. it just reaffirms what they believe, that we're idiots and we don't deserve respect. And actually, we are here for them when it's the other way around. It's the other way around. So
Yep.
Respect the customer or perish. And
Yes, exactly.
Yes. And we need to make sure we continue that. All right. Do you want to plug your channel, my friend?
Sure. Please consider subscribing to Overlord DVD, youtube.com/Overlord DVD. I also have a Patreon, patreon.com/Doomcock, and subscribestar.com/Doomcock as well. Thank you, Gary, man. I really appreciate you having me on your channel here.
It's always a pleasure. You have the keys to the house, and you can come by anytime. And let me know when you do your square up, and hopefully we can connect and I can record it with you.
Absolutely. That'd be great. Yeah. Thank you.
That'd be cool. All right. Again, thank you to the Nerdrotics. Thank you for everyone who showed up, friends and frenemies and enemies. I know you're out there lurking. I know. So everybody, we will see you next Sunday on Doomcock's channel at the same bat time, but a different bat channel. And remember, not all who wander are lost.